keep it a bug. I
Yo,
thought you had already gone.
yeah, I'm on now. Yo,
Bet.
what's up, y'all? YouTube, what's up, Facebook, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Danny, Danny's Dimensions. I got my boy Adrian and my boy Johnny with his channel
Yes, sir.
Southpaw Boxing and MMA. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe for the algorithms. We got some good
Please.
stuff to talk about today. Some boxing talk. You know what I'm saying? We've been chopping it up even before we went on live for a little bit. So we
Mhm.
already getting into the thick of things. So first thing we're gonna talk about is what I have on the in my background in the screen. Jake Paul versus Hasim Rockman Jr. What do you guys think about that fight?
Hasim Rahman. I like that.
Hasim
You know what?
Rock.
It's a lot of people are talking about Hasim is gonna take a dive. It was just possible. I mean, it's always possible. I'm sure Jake, could slide him a couple mil under the table. But I
Like
like
real
the
quick,
fight.
which would be really illegal, hella illegal, because this is a
Big time.
a
Well, I mean,
sanctioned
of
fight.
course, but I mean, it's only illegal if you get caught, right?
Yeah,
But just hear me out. Just hear me out. I like the fight for Jake Paul simply because Tommy Fury is a bit. Sorry, I don't want YouTube to take the. But he's the B word. You know what I mean? So no. In honesty, bro, he was the one that ducked Jake Paul. I understand the Furies have some issues where they're not allowed in the States or whatever. But Jake said, "Pay me the same money I was gonna pay you, or pay me the same money the U.S. is gonna pay me, and I'll go to the UK and fight you." He didn't want to do that. So, you know what I mean? But
Right.
Hasim Rahman
Yep.
stepped up. That's a very, very, bro. This is Jake's what, fifth fight? I want to say
Yep.
something like that. So look at the guys that he's fighting. I'm not talking about their skills or whatever, but his name, like name wise in general. Who's the last guy he just fought? God damn, his name.
Woodley, Tyron Woodley.
Well, Tyron Woodley.
Yeah,
Tyron
Twice.
Tyron
Woodley.
Woodley.
Tyron Woodley is a very big name in the UFC. Maybe not in
Yeah.
boxing, but in the UFC. But he's a hell of a lot better no name than most of these guys do when they start up fighting. They're fighting like guys that are like 6-50 and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like Tyron Woodley is probably a bigger name than the first 90 opponents for Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I like the fight. I think Rahman's gonna beat the shit out of him unless he takes a dive. That's honestly where I stand on that.
That's the thing, man. If Hasim takes a dive, what people actually think that Tyron Woodley took a dive in that last fight.
Oh
And I'm
my
like,
god!
what do you think about
Listen,
that?
if
You know
if,
what I'm saying?
if
Like,
that's taking a dive, that's a painful dive, bro.
real
Because
painful.
that punch, yo, bro, when he hit him, you can't deny that was a real punch. Whether Tyron Woodley took a
Right.
dive or not, I don't know. But that fucking punch, shit,
The
I don't want
sweat,
to take that.
the sweat came off his
Hell
the top of
yeah,
his head. You know what I'm saying? Like, how
yeah.
you how
It's
you gonna
like,
take a dive?
yeah, bro, and it's like people are really. I mean, could he have taken a dive? Is it possible? Of course. You know what I mean? It's boxing. It's one of the most corrupt sports in the world. Could he have
Right.
taken a dive? Absolutely. But a dive like that? Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't think
kind of
so.
that's kind of
A
OD.
dive, bro. A dive is what Kovalev took when he fought Canelo, where he was literally holding his punches back. That's taking a dive. You know what I mean? Woodley was
Right.
actually, I think if I'm not mistaken, he was winning the fight before he got caught.
He was
I, don't-
winning.
I didn't see the official
Yeah.
cards. I don't know. That may be
At
accurate.
least in my cards, he was. I think I had Tyron Woodley up like 3 rounds, by 3 points. So yeah, at least in my card, he was winning. And a lot of people were saying the same thing on Facebook, like, "Yo, Tyron Woodley's winning this fight," and then boom, he gets caught. That's not taking a dive. You know what I
Right.
mean? Taking
I,
a dive is
different.
Kovalev, Canelo.
I have a different perspective. I've seen Hasim Rockman fight in person, live, ringside in Philly. He fought an opponent that literally found out about that fight a week. He had a week's notice, and he said, I
Mm-hmm.
spoke to him after. He's like, honestly, they called me last week. He's like, I was training. He's like, they said 2,500 to show and fight,
Mm-hmm.
and he didn't look good against some random dude that just showed up, and that
Right.
was a few years ago.
But to be fair though, that is a tricky situation because you're prepared for a certain fighter, and then like let's say that fighter pulls out and they bring in another one. You know what I mean? Now you only got like a week or two to prepare for that kind of style. You know what I'm saying?
For pro guys that are on the elite level, yes. For guys that are first few fights in the pros, not really, because there's no tape for a lot of these guys anyway. So you're not really training for it. And
that's a good point.
Just the eye test. I thought Hasim looked really bad. I'm like, yeah, he may, his dad was like a great boxer, but he didn't look good at all. And then
was he though?
What's up?
What was he though? Was his dad really a great fighter? The same guy that started crying.
I think his dad was pretty good.
His dad was a world champion.
I think he was pretty good.
Two-time
world champion. Two-time world champion.
How many world champions do you know, Johnny?
So I mean,
yeah. And just real quick,
I think Hasim Rahman Senior.
You got to give Tommy a pass because, listen, any way you look at it, from the info that we got, he's not putting his family. He ain't going on the record, or making any statements, to protect himself and his family. So it is what it is.
I'm not giving Tommy a pass, bro.
You don't have
the second time he's pulled out. But if it was his first time, okay, understandable. But this is the second time. The first time, it was just some bullshit injury excuse that he used.
Well, he had a
surgery. He said he had what?
He had a surgery though. So
was that confirmed though?
Yeah, he actually he posted.
Or was that just like what they said?
No, he posted the medicals for it. So
was it confirmed?
Yeah.
So,
but I said if you study the facts for the second pullout, it's very understandable because yet again, you don't want to go on the record and potentially incriminate yourself or your family, And the guy that apparently he's like a big time alleged mob boss, like, trust me, that's not something that Tommy would even anticipate rushing into, because that could lead to some serious long-term issues that are way outside of boxing.
Okay, but hold on. My internet cut off while you were talking. I had originally asked, was it confirmed that he actually had surgery?
Yeah,
or was that just what they said?
Yeah, he posted all the medical documents.
Yeah, he said yeah.
Okay.
He said, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was it? A shoulder injury? What was the issue?
I don't remember. I try not to focus too much on these fighters at this level, but and I'm not a Tommy Fury fan. I mean, I don't really know the guy. I mean, I believe I was the one who introduced him to you and like the boxing group years ago. I was like, yo, there's this dude who looks amazing. He looks like the boxer, but he's really not good. And I said, this is probably going to be Jake Paul's next opponent. Everyone's like, who? What? I have no dog in that fight. I really don't care about who wins in either fight. But yeah, I'm just saying, just for the record, I think Hasim's a great opponent. And you said, better than, Julio Cesar Chavez is. I mean, it's better than who Mayweather fought the first 15, 20 fights. So, yeah, this is going to be an interesting fight. I think Jake Paul lights him up, and then it sets up the big Nate Diaz fight here. And I'm hearing rumors that, not rumors, Jake Paul said that him and Tyson before the end of the year.
What?
Yeah.
Wait. Repeat what you said again.
Jake Paul, I think on Ariel's show, said they're trying to make him and Mike Tyson.
Oh my fucking god! Oh please. Yeah. I mean, that would be entertaining for sure, but
it's gonna break a million. I can tell you that.
Oh yeah, no doubt, for sure.
Yeah, that's still kind of crazy.
But listen, I'm gonna say this. This is what I'm gonna say. This is the last thing I'm gonna say about the Jake Paul Hasim Rahman situation. If Hasim Rahman doesn't take a dive, like a lot of people are suspecting, because a lot of people are suspecting it, including myself. If he doesn't take a dive, if he comes in trying to actually win, I think he beats Jake Paul pretty easily. Now, if you see him in the ring and it looks like he's actually trying to win, but Jake Paul somehow, some way wins the fight, then you gotta give him respect. That's a hell of an opponent to fight.
Gotta give him the
yeah, because this is, I think,
especially in your 7th pro fight.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I disagree though, big time. Yeah. I'm telling you guys, Hasim Rahman is not in shape. This guy, his only chance of winning is maybe the first round, maybe the second. But other than that, I think once it hits the third and fourth, fifth round, Jake Paul's just gonna light him up like a tree, bro. He's gonna pound his face in. It's gonna be ugly, man. You'll see. I mean, that's my opinion. I don't think Hasim is really good, man. He's only getting
He's
injured
all
early
right.
on, but he's not in shape.
He's
This guy,
decent. He's decent.
He's all right.
I've seen him. He
Oh.
fails my eye test big time, but we'll see. We'll all watch it. So I can't stand boxing fans that just dismiss Jake Paul. Jake Paul's, I think, active non-McGregor, if you take away McGregor and Canelo, who sells more than Jake Paul right now in boxing? I don't know.
That's the thing, man. He's been selling. You know what I'm saying? Other than Canelo Alvarez is, of course, we know he's the cash cow of boxing. Who we think is the second cash cow?
There's no cash
Would you
cow.
say Jake Paul?
No,
You don't
if you
think
consider if Fury's still active, he's obviously up there. Tyson Fury's up there. Could Wilder sell alone? Like if Wilder was to fight, like an heavyweight that no one really knows about, is he going to sell more than 200,000 pay-per-views? Maybe. Depends how it's promoted. Obviously Tyson Fury's up there, but he's retired, so I don't really throw him in that category. But
right?
As far as pay-per-views, Jake Paul has to be up there. You know what I mean?
That's the crazy thing about it.
So yeah, so you got to give him respect, and he's a pro. He's fighting sanctioned fights. It's not like it's his brother who fought exhibitions that didn't really count. So.
Oh wow. So yeah, I think Johnny dropped off.
He'll be back.
Yeah, that's I think that with
So do you share your opinion with Johnny?
Hasim,
You think Hasim, if it's a
I think Hasim wins the fight. But if he doesn't take a dive, but we'll see. I mean, if Jake Paul wins this fight, he has to get 100% credit for it.
Yeah, the only thing if he looks good, like the way I anticipate, it's gonna be hard for him to get another fight, man. Because I don't think guys will want to fight him. I really don't think there's gonna be guys. I think it's really hard for him to get opponents. I mean, listen, I'm anticipating, Jake Paul is looking for the Tyson fight, and then the big obvious one's the Nate Diaz fight. I mean, Nate Diaz is a little guy. You know what I mean? Like he's fighting at 170, but like he's a frail little dude. And Jake Paul's big. I don't know if you've ever seen him in person. He's like a solid 180.
Right.
And yeah, I get Nate Diaz is fighting at 170, but like Nate Diaz should be fighting at 155.
Right.
He should not be fighting at 170. But and I think he doesn't even cut weight. I think he walks around at like 175. So if like anything, he cuts like 5 pounds. And then I believe Jake Paul cuts around 200 from some of the stories that I read. But yeah, I mean, listen, it's crazy that we're even wasting this much time talking about him.
Right.
But listen, he's boxing. You could say whatever you want until one of these guys like Crawford or Spence could sell and do what Jake Paul is doing. Maybe we'll talk about them, but until now, listen, this is the Jake Paul era, and just for the record, I wish Johnny was on. I called
he is. Yes, he's back.
Yo, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you loud.
Yeah.
All right, bro. I don't know what's going on with my Wi-Fi today, but my God, it keeps
Cool.
muting
Johnny,
you guys.
a few years
Yes,
ago,
sir.
did I not say Jake Paul is boxing?
Yeah, you did in the chat.
Yeah.
What you believe about that, Johnny?
What did I what?
What do you believe about that? Do you think that Jake Paul is boxing now?
Okay. First and foremost, let's just be clear for the people that are watching. When I say Jake Paul is boxing, I don't mean like he legit runs boxing. We're talking about pay-per-view, strictly pay-per-view numbers, ticket sales. That's what we're talking about. I'm not saying he's the most skilled because obviously he's not. There's guys that are ranked in the top 100 that'll beat the shit out of Jake Paul. So just to be clear,
Yeah,
okay.
definitely.
When we say that Jake Paul is boxing, first of all, we mean like
From
other
an
than
entertainment
Canelo.
standpoint.
Yeah,
From an
entertainment
entertainment
standards, ticket sales. Yeah, other than Canelo, Jake Paul is doing crazy numbers. 1.5 mil almost every event that he does.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nobody
else is doing that.
Danny, I made the statement right after the fight. So the argument, the kickback that I got from Johnny and others was, you don't know what you're talking about, yada yada. And I'm like, listen, he fought on the Tyson undercard. He had one of the best knockouts in the history of boxing. That Nate Robinson knockout, you could say whatever you want. They literally turned him into a rug. You could buy a rug of Nate Robinson on the floor, slumped out. And then I knew it. I predicted it. And look, 2 years later, 2.5 years later, look, everyone's talking about Jake Paul. He's selling out Madison Square Garden. You tell me a fighter. I think Rolly Romero is the only. I think he was the first fighter with like less than 15 fights to be on a pay-per-view.
Right.
And Rolly sucks. So
yeah.
Well, you got to be marketable.
Let me say this. Let me say this really quickly before my internet decides to cut off again. So let's talk about like just straight. You know how we're always saying that Jake Paul is he brings new eyeballs and into the sport. He brings new fans, casual fans. Isn't it crazy? Yo, can y'all still hear me or did my shit cut off again?
Yeah. You're good. You're
100% good. Okay. All right. So I'm like we also like to say, oh, we respect Jake Paul. He's bringing in new fans to the sport, the casuals, yada yada yada. Bro, it's crazy how even the legit face of boxing, Canelo Alvarez, he can't do that. He can't bring in the same kind of casuals that Jake Paul is bringing in. You know what I mean? And these are just facts. Like I said, once again, we're not talking about skills. We're just talking about legit, straight marketing, pay-per-view numbers, and the business of boxing. Legit pay-per-view numbers. It's sad to say.
No one did it alone.
Yeah, right. It's sad to say that Jake Paul, and like I said, this is very, very sad because Jake Paul is a YouTuber. It's sad to say he's doing the kind of numbers that he's doing. Canelo can't do those numbers. Canelo can't do those numbers unless he's fighting like Triple G or something like that.
No one could do those numbers alone. Nobody.
Exactly.
Not Mayweather, not De La Hoya, not Fury. Like boxers alone, you need a dance partner. You need Mayweather alone. He barely sold. Remember when he fought Berto? He sold nothing.
He did like 500,000. Yeah,
I think it was 330. Whatever. He didn't sell anything.
Right.
So you need a dance partner.
It's crazy because even with let's think about Floyd Mayweather's, other than Manny Pacquiao in the McGregor fight, because those fights were like crazy. They'll probably never be beaten. But he did, I want to say he did 1.2 million with Miguel Cotto. Bro, Miguel Cotto was a very big marketable name at that time. You know what I mean? He was a pay-per-view superstar.
Yeah.
Jake, if Floyd Mayweather right now came out of retirement, or not even that, let's just say Canelo. If Canelo decided to fight Hasim Rahman tomorrow, you think that pay-per-view is doing $1 million? No way.
No
way. Not a chance. But I guarantee you, Jake Paul and Rahman does $1 million or very close to $1 million.
I don't know if it does $1 million. To be honest with you, it probably.
You say what?
I think Hasim Rahman, Jake Paul in August, it'll probably do like 400,000, maybe 5.
Mm-hmm. That's still good.
You guys say you don't think Canelo can do $1 million on his own?
No, hell no.
Not. It depends on who. It depends on who he's fighting. If he fights David Benavidez, maybe. But if he, like I said, if Canelo would have fight, okay. So Hasim Rahman, no disrespect to him, but like marketable wise, and name wise, and ticket wise, he's on the same, in my opinion, level playing field as Makabu. Remember how Canelo was supposed to fight Makabu? Do you guys think Canelo and Makabu would do 400,000, 500,000?
Canelo
Probably not.
Breaking 300, 400,000, no matter what.
Right. So what I'm trying to say is pretty much is Jake is doing those kind of numbers with literally anybody.
Listen, in 2 years from now, I think I predicted this 2 years ago. And now I think my prediction from 2 years ago may be accurate. We may see Canelo versus Jake Paul.
Well, remember, Jake Paul. Canelo said that he's open to it.
Yeah, but that was he said
yeah.
2 months ago, 3 months ago. I'm saying this may be legitimate. Like we may actually have to see. Like I think I said this a year ago after actually not a year ago when Joe Smith lost to Better Beef. I'm like, yo, I think Jake Paul could go in there, and like a year from now, he could beat Joe Smith. Like he could make it competitive.
I don't know about that.
An
I don't
older
know about
Joe
that.
Smith.
Yeah, I watched up Joe Smith. Yeah, probably.
Like a year and a half, 2 years from now, I think he could go in there and beat Joe Smith. He can. I don't, but
look, I'll say this. Props and respect to Jake Paul because although not every nobody really takes him serious, including us, but at the same time, this dude is spending millions upon millions of dollars to get the best training partners, the best sparring, the best trainers in the world to help him. So he's taking this serious. Yeah. We don't think we look at him as a joke. Let's just keep it. You know what I mean? Let's just be honest. Well, we did at one point, but right now I give him his dues. He's doing what every fighter should be doing. You know what I mean? Getting the best sparring partners in the world, the best trainers they can. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The only thing I don't like about boxing, and I think Jake Paul and I think Crawford bring up my point that I'm trying to make. I don't like the fact that guys aren't tested all year round.
Yeah, I know.
I really don't like it. I think it does a disservice to boxing.
But you know what?
Like smart fight fans, and they start realizing, like, wait, Terrence Crawford, like this, like, okay, you see him with photos of Victor Conte, and then like you see Jake Paul, and like, when he transforms during fight camp, it just seems really suspect. But I'm not making any allegation. I'm just saying in general, boxing really needs to figure out testing because you got guys that like the recent photos of Crawford, he looks like he's 160 pounds. And this is a guy that, never over his walking weight was never big. Got like shoulders and his back is all fucking all built. And I'm just like, wait, you know what it is? You don't get bigger as you get older. Terrence
Right, I was just about to say that.
Old. Like, bro, he's been in the gym his whole life. And now when he turns 35, you see him with photos of Victor Conte, and then like his back and his fucking shoulders explode. And it's like, huh? And then you see Jake Paul, and you're like, yo, his cardio is as if he's been, he's been an athlete for like 10 years. And he hasn't. He just started like 2-3 years now.
Right. But I was gonna say that too, man. Like as you and everybody knows this is just science. You know what I mean? As you get older, your body breaks down. Your body typically doesn't transform overnight. You know what I'm saying?
So quick, can I just ask a quick question? This is the last. I'll bother you guys. The Marquez Pacquiao fight, the last one. Could someone please explain to me how Marquez at 40-something years old, like for the first time in his adult life, had a muscular build? It's impossible.
Yeah, it's not.
He had and like you're talking about it, like you have to understand, it's not like God. You can't compare us to professional athletes. Professional athletes, the way they look, it shouldn't ever change because that's the best shape you see him in. You know what I mean? It's not like they could, like the Wilder, when Wilder fought Fury too, all of a sudden he's on like 25, 30 pounds. How the hell
with the Wilder Fury thing, you would think that Fury, with the way he's shaped, would not be the favorite based on the shape.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah,
but you see Tyson Fury, you see how he moves, you see what he does, and you're like, damn. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different scenario. So
but
that's why you can't just look at what you see on the outside with a boxer.
No. You're proving my point. Yeah. Fury's never changed. Listen, he at 450 pounds and then he lost it, but he's always been the same guy. He's always been this tall guy with incredible speed.
Right.
Like Andy Ruiz, same thing. big fat guy. He's got that Mexican build, and then his hands are super fast. You know,
super fast.
these guys never change. This is who they always were. Marquez, overnight at 40-something years old, finally had a chest that like of a bodybuilder. You know,
Right.
Overnight.
You know, Terrence Crawford is out here looking like he's 170 pounds at 36 years old. Like, bro, you've been in the gym your whole life. How the hell are you putting on all this weight all of a sudden? You know, so
I get you. And you know what? That was the big reason why Pacquiao was when he, remember when he was in his prime in 2009 when he was like beating the shit out of everybody. That's why he was accused of PEDs for so long.
So
because his body would grow into.
Let me just do a quick response. Mayweather and Pacquiao, if you look at the career progression, weight-wise and physique-wise, it's exactly the same. Throughout the years, they put on the same exact weight and they moved up the same exact way.
The only reason,
if you're saying Pacquiao, please bring up Mayweather. That's all I'm asking.
Right. But the only thing is though, when Mayweather moved up in weight, although it was the same exact way as Pacquiao did, but when he moved up in weight, he would struggle against guys that he fought when he moved up. Pacquiao was just like obliterating everybody.
It depends.
Like Pacquiao would obliterating.
Yeah, like Pacquiao would go up to 154 and like beat the living shit out of Margarito or I don't know anybody. And Floyd Mayweather, he struggled against guys like who's that Mexican dude? Everybody, Castillo. He struggled with Castillo. He struggled against De La Hoya.
He didn't move up though.
No. At the time he fought Castillo, they were both at 35 at that time. So he was already.
They were both at 35.
When he fought Oscar De La Hoya, on the other hand, he had moved up to 154, and we all know that wasn't a prime Oscar, but it was still a good Oscar. It was a good Oscar, and to your point, Johnny. A lot of people think that he did struggle in that fight because, what I'm saying, he wasn't. But, Oscar is Oscar, and, Floyd was moving up. So that was for him to be the he had to fight Oscar in order to be the cash.
Of course. And look, for the record.
Boxers doing that, too. We don't see him,
bro. And for the record, I thought he beat De La Hoya clearly, but he didn't, the fight was competitive.
Yeah, he definitely.
Like when you compare the guys that Pacquiao fought. Remember there was a point in time where everybody was comparing the two opponents that they fought, and they'd be like, "Oh, well, Pacquiao obliterated him, and Floyd struggled with him." You know what I mean? There was a reason. There was a reason because I believe Floyd was moving up legitimately, and I believe Pacquiao, was on PEDs. The difference. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. I'm not really here to argue it, but I'm just saying, like, that's just what I think.
Paulie Malignaggi made that same argument that he thought that Pacquiao was on PED. So that's an interesting take.
But you know what? Paulie's an obvious hater for Pacquiao.
Well, he's always been that way.
Yeah, I really discredit him. I think what's his name? He said some stupid sus. I don't really consider his opinion. He's a very
okay. But let me ask you this: why would you think he hates on Pacquiao but not Floyd?
I dismiss his opinion regardless because he's shown so many times he's a very biased guy. So I don't really consider his opinion. And I believe you posted some video of him being racist or whatever. I just don't give a fuck about him. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. No, I'm not saying he's like a great human being. I'm just saying like. Nah. People will tell me all day, "Oh, he's a Pacquiao hater," but I always I ask him the same question: Why would he hate on Floyd, but hate on Pacquiao? You know what I mean? Like it doesn't make any sense to me.
Who hates on Floyd? In boxing community, who hates on Floyd?
Well, I know. I'm just saying.
Pacquiao fans.
No, I'm saying who in boxing hates on Floyd?
Canelo fans.
No. Who in like media wise? Who hates on Floyd? Nobody.
I don't know.
He gets a pass. He gets a pass for beating up his baby mom. He gets a pass for beating up those kids. He got a pass for those hand injections. He gets a pass for everything. He's one of the only athletes in the history of sports who got a pass for obviously cheating, for going to jail, for beating up on a female, beating up on kids. These are just facts. It's not like I'm making it up.
Did Floyd, as far as the cheating, did Floyd cheat?
Yes, the hand injections.
The Thomas Hauser.
No. That's legal. That's legal in Vegas, though.
Yeah, only Vegas.
Yeah, that's why he fought in Vegas.
Yeah,
If he fought in
exactly.
California, then yeah, he'd be cheating.
Right.
But he fought in Vegas where it was legal, so therefore it wasn't cheating.
And I discussed if you're gonna call Pacquiao cheater,
Yo,
the
what's up with
same
the Wi-Fi
exact
today?
proof that
It
you
keeps
have
cutting
for
me off.
Pacquiao cheating, it's the
I
same
can
on Mayweather because they have the same career progressions weight wise. So you can make any excuse you want. They're in the same boat.
Yeah. Well, we also got another fight coming up very soon with Anthony Joshua Usyk rematch. Now, Anthony Joshua has added the services of Robert Garcia as his trainer. Do you guys think that's going to make any difference in this second fight? And what does,
No.
if there's anything, if anything, what can Joshua do to win this?
Look, this is okay. I've always said this about Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua, he's big for nothing. He's big for nothing, and what I mean is every time he fights a smaller guy, he doesn't impose his will. When Andy Ruiz beat the shit out of him, he wasn't trying to jump on Andy Ruiz. He was just fighting very timid. He was backing up, and then the same thing happened against Usyk. He's just like, yo, bro, you got a size advantage. Use it. Jump on him. Throw yourself on him. You can't outbox Usyk. He's way more skilled than you. You can't win exchanges against Andy Ruiz. He has faster hands. Use your advantage. Use your strength. So, in my opinion, is Robert Garcia going to make a difference? No. I think it might be a little bit more competitive. But if Anthony Joshua doesn't go out there and pretty much try to sell out, which I think that's the only way he can beat him, then it's going to be Usyk winning the fight again.
I'll go up next, Danny, if you want. I disagree completely with Johnny. I think this fight's going to be a lot closer. I
disagree too.
It's going to be in Dubai, so the judging is going to be very sus. I don't think Joshua needs to do much more to win that fight. I just think he needs closer rounds. I think the trainer will definitely be so. The fact that he went real quick. Let me just finish my point, and then you can say what you want. I think him switching camps to an actual legitimate camp makes more sense for him. So you'll see an improvement on AJ's side, and then I think you'll see a downward grade for Usyk due to the fact that the political landscape that he's dealing with and the emotions. So I see Usyk downward, I see AJ going upward, and then I see the overall event being in his favor. It's just like the Islam versus the Oliveira fight. When you fight in Dubai, they got
Listen,
it's going to be a little tricky. So
the only way Anthony Joshua wins this fight, in my opinion, is if Usyk is just not mentally there, and it already sounds like he's not. You know what I mean? That's just what I believe.
And then you're proving my point. I think this is looking like it's gonna be an Anthony Joshua decision or late. I don't think he can stop Usyk, but I think he beats him. I think he wins the decision.
Me interject, guys.
My boy Rob, what's up, Coach Rob?
What's up, Rob?
Shout out to Rob. You know what I'm saying? Hey, do your little introductions. Let's introduce you, man. And
okay. Yeah, I mean, Johnny knows me. I don't think I've ever met you before. Is it Adrian? Adrian?
Adrian.
Yeah, man. Nice to meet you, bro. Yeah, no, I'm a certified coach out here in Stafford, and I have a gym in Stafford as well. I've been fighting boxing my whole life. I competed nationally, did some amateur fights and things like that. Still actually holding undefeated amateur record to this day.
Hold on, Coach Rob, I got a quick question. Did you say Stanford?
Stafford, Virginia.
Virginia.
I
thought it was Connecticut. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm not out here. Stafford, VA. So yeah, I tore my Achilles tendon in 2013, man. It retired me. So I started coaching and things like that. I had, but now I have a gym called Man of War Boxing and Fitness Academy, like I said, down here in Stafford, Virginia, right off of 95. But but yeah, man, no, I wanted to interject on this topic. I think this is a good topic, and
yes, sir.
Danny knows how I feel about AJ.
Yeah.
Man, I wish I could get him. Man, and just coach him a little bit. One of the primary things that I think is good about this switch up with Robert Garcia is he is an offensive coach. So he is going to teach him how to fight more offensively. letting his hands go, which is one of the things that AJ doesn't do, right?
That's
Like
not.
you kind of know what combination AJ is going to throw when he throws it.
Yep.
It's,
Heavyweight version of Adrian Broner, bro.
Right, 100%. So I think that will make a difference. I think that will make a difference. Now Usyk is trained this way to beat bigger guys. He's been doing this his entire career. I mean, he's been beating bigger guys, been fighting longer people, and the boxing ability and the skills that they possess. I mean, it's the Ukrainian style, bro. It's I'm not gonna say it's unstoppable because Lomachenko lost, but Lomachenko would have won that fight. We'll talk about that later. The style is a good style for somebody that doesn't let their hands go. If AJ lets his hands go with the type of power that he possesses, I could see it being a completely different fight. But if he doesn't let his hands go and he kind of shells up like he did last time, one of the things that I hate about AJ is he never uses, like I think Johnny was saying this,
his height.
He never uses his attributes.
His height,
long, 250 pounds, 6'6", 83-inch reach.
Right.
Never. I think that's what it is. I could be wrong, but he never uses that. Like he always boxes their fight. He gets small. He gets short.
Right.
Kind of reminds me of like what's his name? Sebastian Fundora. This dude's at 154. Why are you exchanging? You should just be boxing and box from the outside and eating these guys alive.
So and that's how he got caught with Ruiz.
When he fights somebody real, we're gonna see a different Fundora.
So Rob, make your prediction. Rob, what's your prediction?
I'm getting to it. So I think if I don't want to lay a whole lot on it. If Joshua lets his hands go, he wins. If he doesn't, he loses. Hands down.
Okay. If you're a betting man, who you betting on?
In Dubai, probably Joshua.
Yep.
But in Dubai, probably Joshua.
Dubai, 100% Joshua.
Okay, so let me just ask you guys: Are you guys basing this off of the assumption that Usyk is going to get robbed? That's kind of what it sounds like.
I think that Usyk, if Usyk doesn't do enough, he could be potentially robbed.
Yes,
he could.
He was robbed in the first fight. Those cards were BS.
They were a lot closer than way closer. I don't think I gave Joshua a round.
Are we talking crazy right now? Like, did you not see the official cards? Like, first off, Joshua got stopped in the end.
Yeah, he did.
The bell went early. I think 8 seconds, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So those cards were hella close. They were like, I think 4 rounds.
It was just like the Bivol and Canelo fight. Like, we all know Bivol clearly won, but they goddamn almost robbed him. If Canelo had just fought one more round with he wanted to win, it would have been a draw. So I think that's what Adrian's trying to get at.
He doesn't need much to win. I've said that the first fight. So Joshua doesn't need to do much to win.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But he could stop him. That's the difference.
Yep. So the official cards were 117, 112, 115, 113, and 116, 112.
So
way too close.
2, 3.
Way too close.
2, 3, 5.
Bro, I gave Joshua maybe one round. Maybe.
I gave him
maybe
2, 3. And I was being generous.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what we're trying to get at. The scorecards were, even though they were wide, a couple of them were wide, they still were too close. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but honestly, I think I almost classify that fight as a shutout. Especially the way he closed out the 12th round as well. I mean, he almost stopped it in the 12th round.
Almost.
So it's like if Joshua does that again, I don't see any reason why he would win unless it's a robbery. But if he comes out, which I believe he has a little bit more spunk behind him now. I don't know if it's going to change much because, I mean, Usyk has been boxing this style forever. Joshua's going to try something completely different in his first fight to be unified again. Something completely different he's going to try. And I mean,
he has to.
Who can you really get in your camp to kind of match Usyk or to kind of be like an Usyk or to
his style in the heavyweight division is you can't find
you can bring in that dude that who's that the heavyweight that Fury brings in.
Who?
He's really good.
He's talking about Jared Anderson.
Yeah. You can bring
Anderson.
I don't think he's an Usyk.
I'm just saying
he's
bring him in.
I don't think he's an Usyk though.
He's not an Usyk. There is no Usyk, but You
You
could
rather-
Is Anderson even a southpaw though?
Yeah, I
Frankie
don't know.
Sanchez would probably be the closest thing.
I'm just saying, bring in
Frank
a high
Sanchez,
level
yeah,
guy.
that's a good one. Mhm.
That's it.
I
Bring
agree.
a high level
I
guy
agree.
to work out with. That's it.
I agree.
Yeah, but I mean,
That's the money.
but it wouldn't really benefit him if he's not southpaw and he doesn't even fight that type of style.
Or he could
Right.
fight lightweights with you know.
That's probably his best bet, honestly.
He said
He
what?
probably maybe not lightweights, but guys that are lighter. You know, what I mean, just for the speed.
You mean like
obviously.
cruiserweights or something like that?
Yeah, like cruiserweights. They're a lot faster.
There's not many cruiserweights in America, but
Yeah.
No, they're not any really any top cruiserweights. In America, the main cruiserweights that are the top cruiserweights is like Lawrence Okoli. He's a UK guy. He's a tall, but he's a tall, long guy, so he wouldn't do any justice for Anthony Joshua.
Hey, is that your mic, man?
It's hard, bro. You said what?
Somebody's mic is clicking crazy.
Yeah, I got headphones on. I don't think it's
not
mine.
me. My mic's
Hold on. Let me mute myself and let me see if I still hear it.
Yeah, it was Johnny.
Yeah, it's my mic, bro. I don't know what's going on with my internet, man. I gotta hop off because the mic sounds messed up, and then you know what I mean. It keeps like taking me out.
That's
but,
all
right,
good,
man, hopefully the next one I can join with no issues.
Oh yeah, it's all good, bro. Appreciate you for coming by, man. Appreciate you. All right. So
No, it wasn't Johnny. It's still here.
It wasn't Johnny. Who is it?
It's you, Danny. Every time you talk, it does it.
Is it?
Yeah. Hey, tell Johnny come back.
Switch your mic if you can. It's probably your mic.
Yeah.
And this UFC card to be garbage.
I'm not gonna watch the UFC. At least not today. Yeah,
the main card's gonna be insane. But
who is it?
It's Tom Aspinall versus Curtis Blades.
Oh yeah, I'm not watching that.
If Tom Aspinall wins, probably he'll be my number one heavyweight. That's not Francis Ngannou. So
yeah.
And Francis is pretty much done, so he'll be my number one overall.
Yeah.
You got Stipe is trying to make a comeback.
Well, he's been saying that for a year and a half. We'll see if he shows up.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean.
But we also got one more thing to talk about before we get off here. Like Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis. What do you guys think about that? How that's materializing?
You want to go first, Rob? Just mute yourself, Danny, when Rob goes or if I go.
Yeah. I got
you. Yeah, that's interesting. So I've been in. I don't live too far from Baltimore, so I mean, I've been in Tank's camp before, so I've seen Tank work. He's gonna kill Ryan Garcia if this happens. If they go at 135, which it should be, because I mean Tank's only had one fight at 140, but the size does pose an issue. I'm not gonna say it doesn't pose an issue. I was listening to Danny Garcia talk. I think it was about a week ago, and he was talking about how he saw him and that bet that him and Errol Spence made at the Tank fight. I think it was a $20,000 bet that Romero would get knocked out or something like that. It was, and so he said he saw Garcia. He never seen him before. He was like, Garcia is huge. He said he's actually the size of a welterweight. So that may pose an issue for a little bit, but I mean, Tank has been doing this, fighting bigger guys his whole career.
Hey, so, Rob, let me ask you some questions.
Yeah.
So I personally think it's a 50-50 fight, but let's just what's this next sound? It's not me or you.
Maybe it's everybody's mic.
Yeah, it could be. Because I've been muted, so
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But
real quick, I'll just ask some general questions.
Yeah.
As far as resume goes, Ryan clearly has the better resume, yes?
Why?
He's fought better guys.
Luke Campbell.
He knocked him out.
Luke, I'm saying who else though?
Yeah, he beat what's his name? This past weekend.
Fortuna, but
Fortuna. He beat him in a way no one ever beat him.
He was also out of shape though, and he came in.
I'm just he still knocked him out. He beat a guy that's never been beaten that way. Tank Davis, everyone. I mean, you could go through his resume. It's pretty bad. He fought Rolly Romero, who should have never taken that fight, who lost the fight beforehand. The Isaac Cruz fight, he took on short notice. A lot of people had it as a draw, and Tank Davis will never ever take that fight in full camp again. So there's that. How many fighters has he made go up or down in weight? You could go through his career. It's just been cherry picking and perfect timing. And I'm not saying Ryan's resume is that much better, but are you trying to argue that Tank has a significantly better resume or a clear resume than Ryan?
I think. See, I don't all the time look at just who they fought. I look at their fighting capabilities. So
I know that I'm going to get to that. I'm just saying the point right now is who has a better resume.
So resume, I don't think either one of them have a great resume.
I'm not saying who's greater. No, which one has a great resume, or if it's great, who has a better resume?
I think Tank has a better resume than Ryan currently. Because, I mean, Ryan, outside of Luke and who he just fought, who has he fought? I mean, Tank has belts. Tank fought 130 all the way up, and he's a three-time division
I don't care about all that because none of that means anything.
Let me interject real quick.
Yeah.
I think that Tank...
That's two divisions that won championships in. So, I mean, you can't not care about
that. The championships mean nothing. It means nothing.
Tank has fought a lot of people, and I've argued this point, that he's fought a lot of people in lower weight classes. I don't think he's really fought a legitimate 135-pounder that actually can give him any test, like real test. So who is the real Tank Davis? I don't know how great he is, how good he is, because he hasn't really fought anybody legit. With that being said, Ryan Garcia, outside of Luke Campbell, hasn't done too much either. So I believe this is the perfect fight for both of these guys to prove exactly where they are at 135, once and for all. That's what I think.
It might sound like it's equal. It's equal. I don't, like I said, neither one of them have a good resume, in my opinion. That's why it's a good fight. But I think as far as fighting capabilities, let's go there. Tank's a way better fighter.
We'll get into that. So, and I have another question. If Ryan Garcia lands that right hook clean on Tank Davis, what happens?
What if Tank lands clean on Ryan?
No. Can you answer a question, bro?
Yeah.
Bro, who's this coach, bro? Who's this guy you're bringing on here? He can't even answer a single question. I'm not even going to waste my time. Let me repeat the question. Hopefully you can give me a straight answer for once. If Ryan Garcia lands his best shot on the much shorter guy, what happens?
I'm trying to hear you, bro.
You hear? Did I cut off?
No, you're good. It's just the mic.
If Ryan Garcia lands his best punch on Tank Davis, what happens?
If Ryan lands his best punch on Tank, well, you have to see.
He gets stopped, most likely. I don't know why you did it, but you're a Tank fan. I get it. Fine. If Tank Davis lands his best punch against Ryan Garcia, what happens?
Both of them can potentially stop each other. That's why it's a good fight. But
yeah, and so like as far as they both have the skills and ability to knock each other out, has either guy fought anyone near each other's level?
I think that just Tank.
Yes or no question.
That's what I'm saying. So from what I just said when I prefaced the opening here, when I said Danny Garcia said that Ryan Garcia looks like a freaking welterweight. Tank has fought coming up, right? I mean, he fought. The only fight that I think that kind of goes against this point is Leo Santa Cruz. Leo Santa Cruz was 126. He brought him up and fought him. Like, you probably shouldn't have done that. But everything else, 130 to 135 to even 140, he's fought people in that weight class. Now, Gamboa shouldn't really count. I mean, Gamboa wasn't completely washed, but now he is. I mean, everybody's getting that.
Did he stop Gamboa?
You think Gamboa wasn't washed when Tank fought him?
He knocked him down in the second and stopped him in the 12th. But it's like I said, I don't really like I said, his resume, when you look at his resume, it really is kind of like you can't really like harp on that because he hasn't really fought the people that I prefer to see him fight. But I think he's
so. I think the point Rob is making, Davis passes the eye test, but you won't admit that his resume's pretty trash. Like I don't know why you want to, which is fine. You're a fan. It's cool. I get it. I know you. We know. Trust me. You can't answer that question, but yeah,
going crazy.
Yeah,
but, it might be yours, Rob. I don't know, but I kind of understand what you were saying. Hold on, let me see if I can mute this. So yeah, it's definitely not me. It stopped immediately. So so what Rob is saying, you're saying that you were saying that Tank Davis has the better resume than that of Garcia. Is that what you're saying?
Me?
No, Rob.
Oh,
let me put Rob back on.
No, I didn't say he has a better resume. I said they both have pretty trash resumes, which is why it makes it a decent fight. But
okay, I got you.
But the only caveat.
Rob, can you rejoin maybe? Because your mic, I don't know if it's like on a piece of paper or if you have
I think it's your mic.
Take the back.
Yeah, I can barely hear you. You want me to hold on 1 second.
Yeah. If you're using your phone, if it's something, it's gonna make the noise.
That probably is. Let me mute him real quick. Yeah. So
the only point I'm making is this, and yet again,
I agree with you with the Tank Davis. I don't believe me and Rob, we've had conversations about this, and I frankly do not believe that Tank Davis's resume is really all that great. I mean, he's picked up belts, but he's picked up he hasn't really done anything since he won the title, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So it's like. But Garcia,
he hasn't, and that's the thing. People, the thing is that the Tank fans, they want to try to convince you that, hey, we won't admit his resume is trash, but he passes the eye test, so that should be suffice. And then the non-biased fan is like, listen, it's the same thing with a lot of guys. We know they have potential to be great, but if they're not fighting guys that people think have a chance in beating them, no one can care. Like, unless he starts fighting Boma or Haney or, I'm just trying to think of some guys at 135, Kambosos. Like, when you fight guys where you're a minus 800 or minus 1,000, like, no one cares. You know what I mean?
Haney is the man right now at 135.
He has all the belts. You can't.
He's the man, undisputed.
Yeah, Rob. I love you, bro. You're my man. Your mic is really bad.
I think it's your mic.
Cell phone. I'm trying to get the link to me on my laptop here. Hang on.
I could give you the link. I can give you the link again. Hold on 1 second. Keep on, Adrian.
So Danny, just to go back, so I was going to try to break down the fight, and yet again, I'm glad I have a Tank fan on here, and I would love if I had a Ryan Garcia fan. I know we have a Golden Boy fan in our group who actually knows, I guess, people that are associated with Golden Boy, so I could break both of them down and expose both. But the point I'm making is, neither there you to make a case outside of 50-50 is kind of crazy to me, because neither guy has ever fought anyone on each other's level. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's what I would say.
If you're unbiased, Ryan Garcia clearly has a slight advantage resume-wise.
Yeah,
and
I would say
he's a
so.
bigger guy.
So.
Didn't your boy just say he's huge? He looks like a welterweight, whatever.
Yeah.
The bigger guy, he has just the same exact power. And I think Tank's power should, when people say he's stronger, relax. He didn't stop Isaac Cruz.
He didn't stop a Gamboa that had a torn Achilles.
He stopped guys that were either coming up in weight or shouldn't have been in that weight class. Again, that's just facts. It's not like it's me saying it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So, but he does have power. I'm not taking it away from him. So, okay, Ryan Garcia got caught in the Luke Campbell fight, and then the last fight this past weekend, it looks like he fixed that issue with him keeping his fucking head up. Whatever.
The thing is though, you mentioned Luke Campbell, right? Luke Campbell is a legit 135 pounder. What legit 135 pounder has Tank Davis fought?
None. He hasn't. That's the problem.
That's what I'm trying to. That was the point.
That's why I'm saying that the biased Tank Davis fans can't acknowledge that. But just to move on now, because I think I don't want to beat a dead horse, but so anyway you look at it, Ryan has a better resume. Ryan has just this equal power. Defensively, I think Tank is a better fighter because I think he's a little bit harder.
There you go.
Oh!
There you go.
Yeah, I got the link.
We go. Now we
can talk.
Now we
I've been hearing a little bit of
talk your stuff, man. Talk your stuff. I need to hear you, man.
So real quick, Rob.
Go ahead.
Rob, hear me out. So look, I'm gonna make my point, and I was trying to make this point with Johnny in our group chat, but whatever. He didn't really buy into it. But I think this fight has potential to crown the next face of boxing. I think Canelo's crown goes on to the winner. If they promote this right, I think the winner of Ryan Garcia Tank Davis, I think they're it, man. I really think that whoever wins this fight has if it's like a clear win, not like if it's like a controversial BS decision, someone goes in there and just sleeps someone, I think they're going to be it. They're going to be the new cash cow in boxing. I think this fight's going to be, and before this weekend, I'm like, no one's going to care about this fight because Tank never fought anyone. Ryan Garcia, he's got mental health problems. I'm like, but now look at the promoting they're doing. For once, listen, I know it's hard to believe. This is maybe the first time in boxing both guys are actually promoting a fight. I know it's shocking. I know. I get it. It doesn't happen often. But both guys are selling the gimmick. They're both doing what it takes to sell a fight. So if this fight gets made, I'm anticipating worst case 600,000 pay-per-views, best case 1.2. That's what I'm predicting.
Well, I don't disagree. And here's why. Because we're in an era now that's different than some of us real boxing purists, right? It's different. You have the Jake Pauls, you have the Logan Pauls, you have the KSIs, you have that kind of stuff. So a lot of casual fans are now actually fans of boxing, quote unquote, to what they understand about it, right?
It is the Jake Paul era, yes.
Yeah, so since that's the era we're in, both Tank and Ryan Garcia have pretty good social media followings and presences. That's why, and I hate to say this, that's why I think this fight will sell more than the fight everybody really wants to see, which is Terrence Crawford and Spence. I mean, boxing peers, what we want to see. But this fight will sell more than that if it actually happens, which it sounds like it might. I saw Ryan Garcia put out there that he's like, hey, I'll fight at any weight class now. Because before, when he beat Fortuna, he was like, there's no way I'm going down to going back down to 135. I'm going to 140. No chances. No questions asked. I'm going up to 140.
Right.
Which I thought was a sucker move because 140, in my opinion, right now is probably one of the weaker divisions in the entire in all the boxing right now.
It is the weak division. There's no question.
Yeah. So
I don't think there's a 31 with a belt in 140 right now.
I mean, Josh Taylor had all of them, right?
I thought didn't they vacate a few? I think he only has like one.
I think he did vacate a few.
Yeah.
So with that being the case, I don't disagree with that at all. I do think.
But real quick, now, let me ask you a question, Rob. I think the real boogeyman in those smaller weight classes, I don't think anyone wants any smoke with Shakur. So if Shakur moves up to 35,
big facts,
100%.
That's all the point I'm making. We all know Ryan Garcia and Tank want no parts of Shakur.
Nobody does. Devin Haney neither.
So when he moves up to 135,
when he said he's coming,
everyone running up.
Mm-hmm.
Big facts. Big
so
facts.
That's why I said now I'm only making that point to point out the obvious. You said, oh, it's a sucker move, him one move into 140. I don't really buy that because Tank Davis isn't scaring anyone at 135. He has no belts.
Well, not yet, but he's not. He's also not being called out like that. Like
Who's calling him out?
Haney's not calling. The only person really right
Haney's
now is
coming up. Why would you call someone when he's in contract?
huh?
He has a fight coming up.
Now, I mean, in October with Kambosos again.
Rematch.
But they had, but I'm talking about even before then.
Don't mention it until he's done. What if he loses that fight? I mean, if he loses that fight, we got bigger problems. But
yeah,
I don't like to discuss that are signed. You know, if they got a fight signed, like they're out of the picture. That I forget who was whatever. It's not the point I'm making right. If I remember, I'll bring it up. But like I said, right now, Tank Davis is free. Ryan Garcia is free. Mm-hmm. They got to fight each other.
Yeah, so I think it's like I said. I think that fight does set a precedence for 135. But if they fight at 140,
fight lined up or no?
Who?
Does Loma have a fight lined up?
I don't know. I think Loma's still in Ukraine. I don't know what he's doing. They try to get him to fight.
There's no speculation on what he's doing at this point.
Oh, I just know.
And bro, the last two fights I saw, Lomachenko fight, he's still a problem. So we can't forget about him if he comes back on that level. He's still a problem. He knocked out Nakatani a way we've never seen him knocked out before, and he played with Richard Comey a way we've never seen him before. Played with him.
He did.
So I mean,
Loma with his age and like.
If he comes back how he was, because he was on a rise, and then this war thing happened and he stepped out. But if he comes back anything like he was, he's still a problem. And honestly, I got him against a lot of guys doing very well. I can't say who he beats because, like I said, it really depends on what he looks like when he comes back. But
if he's at 100%,
if he's at 100%. And we're gonna talk fighting styles now. I don't want to talk resumes. We're gonna talk fighting styles.
No. You have to pick. There's a difference between opinion, fighting styles, and who do you think would beat?
I think Loma
could compete. Like, do you think a fight would be close, or is there anyone who you think would beat him?
I think Loma could. If Loma's 100%, I really think he could beat any and everybody at 135. I think he would have the hardest time with whom we already mentioned. Just like everybody else, Shakur Stevenson. They sparred before, and the tape of it and stuff like that. You can see how they work together. But Shakur was much younger, much smaller. No power.
As a slight favorite, 135.
Shakur.
I would have Shakur as a favorite over Loma. Slight, 135 around that.
Yeah, like I said, I don't disagree with that fully. Shakur is the man. And I think he's going to be the man when he gets to 135. Oh, yeah.
He's coming.
Best believe it. He's got a fight coming up too.
Believe it. Yep, he sure does.
Who's he fighting?
Who is Shakur fighting?
I forget the name. It's a Spanish dude.
That makes sense.
I'm gonna look it up real quick.
But the way he made Jamel Herring look, the way he made Oscar Valdez look.
What?
I mean, it was discipline. It was masterclass.
Real quick, can I ask you a question, Rob? I love your knowledge. God bless you.
Thank you, man.
Why doesn't Shakur try to unify?
He should. I think that actually is the next thing. He called out the people that's in his. I forget their names.
Hey, this fight right here. You just mentioned this fight right here that he's coming up is against.
Is this a unification?
Conceição. It is a unification fight for the WBC and WBO super featherweight championship of the world. So that answers your question right there, Adrian.
He absolutely should.
Unification match. It's in Newark, New Jersey. Hey, it's in New Jersey.
In a way, well, he
might show up.
Jersey, but he's not.
Yeah, definitely might show up to that.
You said what, Adrian?
He claims New Jersey, but he's really not, man. No disrespect.
He's from Newark.
I know. I'm from Central Jersey, but he doesn't train here.
No, he trains in he doesn't now. He trained in Virginia. I used to spar with Shakur.
Alexandria.
I know Shakur.
He's in Alexandria.
He used to train at Charles Houston out in Alexandria. I used to go up there.
Training, he's in Miami, so like.
Yeah, I mean, but he grew up there though. You got to give him that. He grew up, didn't he?
I was born and raised in Brooklyn too, but
who?
Adrian.
You were?
Yeah.
What's up?
You said you were?
I was, yeah, but it's just I don't know.
Rob, tell him, man, you from BK too.
I'm from BK as well, bro. I'm from Brownsville, East New York.
Brownsville, Brooklyn.
You see, my age, where we grew up, it was a different era than what Brooklyn is now.
Right. I agree with that
for sure.
Whatever. Listen, I'm glad that we all agree. Shakur is probably
Shakur's
the best
problem
in boxing. He was what Crawford was before Crawford. The last 4 or 5 years, where he just hasn't really done much.
Mhm.
But you know, hopefully he doesn't have the same career projections. I really hope he's managed properly and utilizes his prime. You know,
Mhm.
you hate to see these guys waste their prime on just like stupid lawsuits and fighting bums that no one cares about.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I agree with that. I really just hope that this Spence Crawford fight happens. I mean,
You
I think
know,
at that
really.
point,
I mean, we've been waiting for
I
5
mean,
years.
and see, I like you were saying earlier, Adrian. I think it's two sections of boxing now. Like you have the casual fans,
Facts.
plus the guys that actually are purists like us. So we know boxing. Yeah, so certain questions we can answer.
Right.
Then you have the guys that are just straight on casuals, right? I mean, I'm sorry, you have the guys that are just straight up purists. So I think that there's two sections going on right now.
You know what ruins boxing though is the boxing purists, as you call them. I call them the hardcore fans.
Yeah,
so-called
they
hardcore
boxing because they're so biased towards whatever promoter, whatever race. Like you have a lot of these, some of the most racist people in sports are boxing fans.
Absolutely,
that's a big
fact. Like if you just research the top boxing the YouTubers,
and God, bro.
Boxing podcast. I mentioned this earlier before you joined. Chris Mednick, he has a podcast on their Fox Sports on their The Herd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they're so biased. You know what I mean? Like they're so biased towards the promoter that obviously pays them. It's like you listen to them, and then you listen to like some of these PBC idiots, like and then you listen like I don't know. A lot of us Americans, we don't really listen to like the UK. The UK boxing media is so full of shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like, and everything UK is just garbage. Like the rappers, everything. Specifically the boxing media is so biased.
Yeah. Two UK fighters.
You're a casual fan.
Right.
Try to get into, you join a Facebook boxing group, and then you see like I'm not going to mention anyone specific, but like, we all know the characters in the boxing, social media world. Right. They're so dumb. They're so dumb. They're so biased, and it's all of them. It's not. There's no one that's down the middle. Like, there's no one that does at least what like I would say to do what Johnny and I are doing. It just doesn't no form for it. And at the national level, like at the mainstream level, boxing media is bullshit. I mean, there's no face of boxing media. If you look at MMA, you have Ariel and Schmo, for example, right? If you look at NBA, you have Brian Windhorst. You have if you look at NFL, there's Adam Schefter.
Yep.
Who does boxing have?
We don't. Oh, Max Kellerman. We don't have
any. Bernstein.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Who do we have? Right, Max Kellerman.
We don't have anyone.
No, we don't. I mean, we got Brian. What's his name? Brian
Custer.
Brian Custer. Showtime. He's pretty good. He does good interviews and stuff. He's not super biased.
He's all right.
I like listening to him.
I like that. Yeah, you're right. Michelle Joy, whatever her name.
Michelle Joy
Phillips.
Phelps. It's
Phelps. I meant to say.
She's good. She's good.
You got I mean, even on the smaller scales, you got what's his name? Seconds Out. What's the guy's name?
Radio Rahim.
Radio Rahim.
Radio Rahim. I don't know how long you've been following boxing, like media wise, bro. Back in the day, that dude was good.
Was he?
Yeah.
So much hate. I can only imagine. Like people probably, this is why a lot of these guys can't even show up to fights.
Right.
They'll get, and then you got SA. What's his name? The Jewish kid, the dude from Israel.
Oh yeah, ES News. Oh yeah.
Alex Setback.
Yeah, Alex good.
Hella biased though.
He is.
He said some things that kind of asked some questionable questions.
Boxing ego is like I want to fight that dude.
So you want to know who the best? Honestly, I hate to say this, and it kind of pains me, bro. Ariel, ever since he joined BT News, he's if he really wanted to, he could take over boxing media.
Yeah. Helwani
gets Matchroom. Yeah, he gets Matchroom. He got Eddie Hearn. He had Jake Paul the other day.
Yeah, he had Rahman on there too.
Yes.
I think
yeah, bro. Hasim Rahman. I've never been that guy. His media ability
he's good,
out of this world.
He's not bad at all. Yeah, like I didn't know much about him until now. I knew a little bit about him. I've heard about him.
No one knew, bro. He's killing it, and he's killing it in the press conference.
He is.
Went Ariel smooth, just completely, just fucking was super honest. Know how to well spoken, smart.
Yeah.
Bro, he was like, yeah, I went to jail for 3 years. I was like, shh. Yo, he said that shit without even like
nobody knew.
Yeah, like he was honest, and I'm like, damn, like this guy's good. Like I think in our group chat, I was like, imagine if Crawford had fucking 20% or 30% of what Hasim Rahman did.
Yeah, and it's like Crawford doesn't. He just doesn't talk enough
at all.
He gets, and they don't interview him enough, probably because he doesn't talk enough. But I mean, he really he just wants to fight. Yeah, he just wants to fight, but you have to be able to sell it.
No, go to fights. Do what the people.
And go to fights, right? Exactly.
He's not even going to fights. I mean, he goes to some fights. Yeah. But he doesn't go to a lot.
He goes to like his boys' fights. Like
Shakur Stevenson's fights.
Goes on Twitter, and I just want to make this point. I hope someone's listening. Boxing fans are not on Twitter, bro. Yeah. I hate to break it to everyone.
We're not.
No, I don't even have a Twitter, bro.
It's sorry.
I don't mess with that stuff because people.
IG, yes.
Yes.
Instagram is where boxing fans should focus their energy on because no one gives a fuck about because the thing is Twitter is really for like political bullshit and like no one gives a fuck about Twitter unless
hidden agenda. It's a hidden agenda driven platform for people.
The liberals Twitter. Everyone knows that the Democrats run Twitter. It's not a secret,
right?
And if you're conservative, you get shut down. And that's what they're all about. Twitter's all about political garbage and bots and stuff like that.
Yep. We're not on there.
It's not for boxing.
Definitely not.
No,
definitely not.
Well, who do you got? I mean, who do you got in that fight, though? Let's talk about that.
Which one?
Spence and Crawford.
Man, I got Crawford, man.
I mean, I know you got Danny.
You talking about Adrian?
Yeah.
Adrian,
as I said, I try not to do fantasy fights. I really, it's not one of my favorites.
Hope is real, bro. They talking like it's gonna be real.
I don't care.
You've been talking like this for 4 years, bro. Right?
Yeah.
Well, not this close though. I mean, anytime Steven Espinosa comes out and says that it's gonna happen, and Crawford and Spence have said it's gonna happen,
I don't believe anything like Roy Jones.
I get that. No, I get that.
Roy Jones said, I don't believe it until it gets signed.
I don't believe until it's signed. Right.
Only thing I'll say is this, and I said this on Ari's podcast, and I'm very unbiased. If you go by the last 4 years, to me, just eye test, it's 50-50 to me. To me, so that's one aspect. You could argue the specifics, whatever. What is it, 60-40 worst case for either guy? I don't know. Like, I don't think either guy's that much better than each other. Okay? That's one. That's the eye test. Okay? That's how we're going to start breaking down boxing. Now, what have you done for me lately? Clearly, Spence has done more.
Right.
Anyone that
you can't argue
Crawford, I've been saying this for years. Anyone that has Crawford ranked in your pound for pound is biased or just doesn't know how boxing works. Like, he hasn't done anything in the last 4 years. He fights once a year. He fought a guy off a draw. He fought a bum. He fought a C-level guy, and then he fought a guy. 3 of the guys are retired, and the guy that he fought 4 years ago, I think he's 1-3. He got stopped twice.
What's your thought on that, Rob? About Terrence Crawford not being on a pound for pound, because we've talked about that. Discussions.
Everything else you said, I agree with until we get to the pound for pound thing.
It's fine if you have Crawford over Bam, Charlo, Usyk, Canelo, Fury. If he's still active, you don't know anything about boxing. I'm sorry.
If he's over them, you got to look at why. The only reason why, and you got to think about it like this: guys move up on this. The pound for pound list to me is crap altogether. But guys move up on this pound for pound, this fantasy pound for pound list when they become undisputed. If you're really paying attention now, that's what's happening.
That's what I'm mentioning though. Like
and when you beat Canelo. You know what I mean? No, that's when you raise up. Let me finish what I'm saying. That's when you raise up on this quote unquote pound for pound list. Now, Crawford would be there because he's undisputed in 140. He was a champion at 135.
What year was it?
I don't remember. It was like four or 5 years ago.
It was 5 years ago.
Yeah, undisputed. Right. Undisputed at not undisputed, but a champion at 135, and now a champion at 147. 38-0. So all of that plays a part in this quote unquote pound for pound list. Now, if you really know what pound for pound actually means from back in the day to what it means now, pound for pound actually means I can take that style that I fight at this particular weight and I can go up another weight class and another weight class and another weight class and beat potential guys with this style of fighting. That makes me pound for pound. That's where the pound for pound thing comes from. Right. But we don't look at it that way anymore. What we look at it is,
what have you done?
Who's selling the most? Who has the most belts? Which is why the only reason why Canelo is even on there, because honestly, Canelo is the most decorated champion there is right now. He is. Who had or has more belts than Canelo currently? Not Tyson Fury, not Jamal Charlo or Jamel Charlo, nobody else. So that's why Canelo's there.
Yeah, but the point I'm making is I get all that.
That's the only reason why.
Point in the last 5 years, yet again, he fights once a year.
I agree.
Beating a guy off a draw, beating Amir Khan, who's been knocked out multiple times, beating Kell Brook, whose his orbital bone's been broken multiple times, and then beating Porter in a fight he was losing up until the stoppage, which seemed weird in general. So the last 3 guys he fought were retired, and then the last guy he fought is 1-3 and then got stopped twice.
Now we understand boxing is what have you?
Here's my point.
Yeah.
He hasn't done anything in 4 years that's of note. You got Bam, unified, yes?
Yes.
Charlo, unified?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, undisputed.
Canelo, undisputed.
I'm sorry.
At 68.
And then you got Usyk, who, moved up, fought, he's
after being undisputed.
Yeah.
Now he's undisputed at cruiserweight.
Yeah. But you see my point, though?
You can't put Bud over B-Ball or Canelo.
You can put him over B-Ball. B-Ball, what has B-Ball done? B-Ball has 18 fights and beat Canelo at a weight he shouldn't have been at.
I agree with you. I'm not.
You can definitely put Crawford above B-Ball.
But that's a win. That's a big win, right? Yeah. And then obviously Usyk. I mean, you could put, if you're so active, how could you not have Fury in your
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I'm not even taking away from, some other guys like for example, Spence, for example, right? You got to put Spence up there. What about
Spence is in the list.
Spence is like 5 or 6.
I'm
5 or 6 on my list too. Yep.
If you factor everything you just said, I don't know how you put Crawford in the top 5. There's so many guys.
Where else would he be though?
Huh?
The thing about it is with Crawford,
because I mean, here's why we're putting guys there.
Last point I'll make. This is the last point I make. So 5 years ago, yes, Crawford was. You can make an argument. He was definitely top 3, top 2.
He's been there since 5 years ago.
And I forget to bring the Japanese guy. The
monster.
Yeah, you got to put him.
Inoue.
Yeah, Inoue. You got to put him up with Crawford.
Absolutely.
But what I'm saying is, this is the point I'm making. At some point, if you're gonna have Crawford in your top 5 pound for pound, you might as well just throw Mayweather in there about old shit that happened. Like, you know what I mean? It has to.
He's still active though. That's the thing. He's still active. Mayweather's not active, so you couldn't put him there anymore.
He's still active, and he's still a champion.
And he's still a champion. So
but he hasn't.
But he's defended who he's fought. He defended.
Yeah, but he beat Porter. I get it.
No, I get it. I'm saying I get what you're saying. I get the points.
Someone on a pound for pound list, you're going to compare fighting Porter and Kell Brook. That should. And I'm not saying anything.
Who else did Spence fight though?
I'm not saying anything about it. It hasn't happened yet, but I'm talking about right now. As far as ability, how could you put someone above? The point I make, how could you give someone pound for pound for fighting Kell Brook, Amir Khan, and Porter? You should do more. That's all.
Those are two of the same names that Spence beat, and he beat him in better fashion.
When you he beat both of them in better fashion, but when you come from 130 to 147, you have now done what pound for pound means in 2 divisions. So that's why you can say
Porter?
that. Huh?
He beat Porter.
He beat Porter. He beat Khan. He beat Mean Machine. He beat Felix Diaz. He beat Benavidez. He beat who was 2-time gold medal. Now, like I said, these are not great guys, but these are 147 competitive guys.
Yeah,
these are guys that are in that.
The problem with and I don't blame Crawford for this.
I know you can't. I agree with you on a lot of
I agree with you.
PBC is the reason why I can't have Crawford in. I can't rank him higher than the number 5 because all those guys across the street, that fight couldn't have been made at the time. Yet again, we're going back 5 years now. That's why I said I don't want to go into this debate because it's
Jeff
just
Horn. 7.
If you mention old shit, then I got to bring up the old shit.
Why do you think the Crawford Spence fight has, guys? Why do you think it hasn't happened at this point? Do you think it's because
let me touch that for a second because the PBC thing, I agree 100%. They have all of the fighters, but was he not calling those guys out?
Yeah, but
they weren't calling him out. But was he not calling them out? He called out Manny Pacquiao. He's been called out. Spence told him get a belt at 147. He came and got a belt, beat the guy that beat Manny Pacquiao, called out Spence and Pacquiao. Neither one of them.
But if you want to play devil's advocate, because clearly I think you two sound like Crawford fans. I'm not a fan of either guy. I could care less.
Yeah.
But if you could say that, and I brought this up on the Ari podcast, I need you guys to listen to me very clearly, okay? Because this is how I shut down every Crawford fan, and there's no debating it because you can't debate facts. Fighting once a year sus for a guy who's not been injured.
Definitely.
Okay?
Definitely.
That's sus. So let me roll back a little bit. Fact. Earlier this year, Virgil Ortiz, Golden Boy reached out, offered the fight. Crawford denied the fight.
Facts.
Facts.
Why fight somebody that you're not going to get anything from? At this point in his career, he just wants belts, and I don't blame him.
Now, you can take any excuse you want.
I'm just saying I
would have taken that fight because
that's a step back, actually.
That's a step back. Why?
A step back. He stops the guy because both you guys, if you had to pick who would win between but Crawford versus Ortiz, who wins?
But then again, to your point, Adrian, he's not being active anyway. I get what you're saying, Adrian.
I'm going to get to that.
He's not being active anyway. He might as well fight somebody.
I'm going to expose the Crawford fan because they can't even acknowledge he should have taken that fight. But if that fight was to be made,
wasn't Virgil Ortiz the same guy that pulled out of that though, or was that somebody else? Who am I thinking about?
What happened?
Didn't Virgil Ortiz pull out of that negotiation?
No, Crawford didn't want the fight. I
think there was somebody else. Maybe I'm thinking about somebody else.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else.
So here's the thing. This is the point I'm making, right? Any way you look at it, the casual fan, not the purist, not the boxing hardcore fans, they will not give a crap about a guy who's not active.
I agree with that.
Yeah, that's number one. That's number 100%.
I agree with that.
How could Crawford, with a straight face, how could his fan base with a straight face demand fucking 50-50 on a fight with Errol Spence when the casual fan has no fucking clue who he is?
Do they know who Spence is, though?
Yes.
No, they don't. No, they don't. They don't know who Spence is.
He sold out Cowboy Stadium. I'm not a Spence fan. I'm telling you what I've seen.
He sold out Cowboy Stadium because of who he was fighting. When he fought Mikey Garcia, that's why it sold out. It wasn't because of Spence. It was because of Mikey Garcia.
All I know was this. He fights Ugas. All these haters were like, and the reason what made this fight big was because you had all these Spence haters saying, Ugas is going to go in. He's going to outbox him.
I never said that.
I never thought that.
You guys say it. I have it in Google. Research Johnny's podcast. We had 8 different guys come in there saying, I have names, I got receipts, I got screenshots. I'll bring it all up.
Yeah.
We had a big group of the boxing fans that said, Ugas, better boxer, more technical.
I never thought
that. Stop him or win by decision, whatever. Okay?
Oh, yeah, that's crazy.
Quite interesting. It was in Cowboy Stadium, and the casual fans, when they watched that shit, bro, you could say whatever you want. Spence went in there and dog walked Ugas.
He did.
Dog walked him.
He did.
Okay? You could say whatever you want. Bro, he beat the shit out of Ugas.
After the sixth.
And hardcore fan, the casual fans saw that, and they're like, yo, they're drooling. Look, they got drool cup. They're like, yo, I'm watching this guy fight again.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what anything about politics. If this guy from Dallas, Texas with the slow accent and the fucking bogged eye, if he fights, I'm watching him fight.
Right.
Okay?
No, I get it.
So listen, you can make any excuses you want. He fought a top elite guy, and he beat the living shit out of him. Like
here's the only thing I have to say.
Wait 1 second.
Go ahead.
My point. Okay, Crawford fought in November last year. Okay,
correct.
He fought 4 times in 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
not good.
No one, even casual fans, they wouldn't be surprised. And I made this point, Danny, you were around.
Yeah.
If fucking Kell Brook fought Jake Paul, it wouldn't surprise anybody. Okay, because that's exactly who Jake Paul would fight. Amir Khan. I think they're actually talking about Amir Khan, Jake Paul, but that's the level of talent.
I certainly hope not.
That's the level of
let's hope not.
Opponent Crawford fought. Jokes, not like guys that anyone considers at Ugas's level. That's just facts. It's not me saying it. This is what the general perceptions of his prior opponents are. So now let's fold it back. We all know Virgil Ortiz has a fan base, right?
Yeah.
He has a fan base. You can say what you want.
He has somewhat of a fan base. But I think the fight
him. He's got a whole promotion behind him. He should have at least, and I'm going to mention 2 names, and I already know one you guys are terrified about, but at least bare minimum, okay? Bullshit, takeaway, and yet again, these are guys he could have fought that were not under PBC. He could have fought Virgil Ortiz. He turned that fight down. And there's no reason why he didn't fight him. He could have fought him and just beat the shit out of him and then got on the mic and said, yo, Crawford, Spence, your ass is next. And cut a promo. But he didn't. He just sat home, did nothing, was on Twitter. Okay, that's number 1. The second guy he could have fought, this not recently, but within the last year or 2, you can make any excuses you want. The man that Crawford and Spence want no parts of. Boots.
I knew you were going to say that.
So you can argue across the street. You can make any excuse you want for either Spence or Crawford.
I think
Spence did not fight Boots. I mean, he did not fight Ortiz. He said no to Ortiz, and he wants nothing to do with Boots. Everyone at 147.
Nobody wants Boots though.
So you know how this works, right?
Wait. I'm going to make one last point.
Want him. Spence doesn't want him.
I'll make the last point.
Okay.
Bud Crawford, yet again, he goes on a platform that no one gives a fuck about. Every time anyone at welterweight fought, Crawford on Twitter, mashing those fingers. He'd be tweeting like this, or nonstop. Bro, Boots fights? This dude, his phone died. He
said when Boots fought, he gave him his props. He gave him his props
after the fact. But when he fought, he just did a recent interview and he's like, oh yeah, Boots is good, yada yada yada, whatever. But I'm saying during the fights, he'll show up. I mean, I think, has he shown up to this? Was he at the Spence fight or no?
No, he didn't come to Spence fight.
I don't think of course not. Why would he promote a fight? Why not? Yeah. So those are the points I make. Good luck.
I think his promoting. I think he, as a promoter, he's not good, and that's why he's and he hasn't been promoted well either. I think I think he just wants to fight. Now, Virgil Ortiz, Boots Ennis. You understand how boxing works, Adrian. Why would I have a belt? Why would I take a high risk, low reward fight when all I'm trying to do, my goal is to unify this division. As you can even see, he's talking about, I'm gonna go fight Jamel Charlo after this, because he's just trying to become undisputed in divisions. That's all. That's his goal, not to fight whoever is a prospect. Boots just became mandatory for IBF for Spence. Who was he before then? Who has he fought before then? Delorme, Lipinets. Now, Boots is a beast. I'm not taking nothing away from Boots, but he's not at that level yet to where they need to say his name. He needs to say their name. He's chasing them. They're not chasing him. Virgil Ortiz is the same way. Why would I? No, this is what I'm saying. where I am in status right now, I have a belt, and I'm one of 3 other people. Well, now one other person that has a belt. What reason do I need to go fight somebody that doesn't have a belt, that is just a good prospect? And then even in this concept, I beat you. Where do you go? Now you don't get a title shot.
So wait,
I'm thinking about
ask a question. Can I answer or no?
No, go. Well, let me finish the statement first.
Okay, because you asked a question, so I'll answer them. But go ahead.
So, well, they were kind of rhetorical, but it's like if I go back now, let's say I fight Virgil Ortiz. Let's say I fight Jerron Boots Ennis. What benefit does that do for me outside of potential promotion? Everybody already knows who Terrence Crawford is that watches boxing. Do they all watch him? No, but they know who he is. That watch boxing.
Purists,
right?
clear.
Exactly.
Casuals.
Spence, right. Now that's where he's not speaking to, is those casuals, which is what I think he needs to do. He needs to promote that better. He needs to do that. That 100%, I believe, would change the overarching, the complete picture of who Terrence Crawford is if he were to promote better for casual fans. But he doesn't. He talks about he's a focused dude. He's focused on what he wants. What he wants is to unify, and he's been saying that from when he first stepped into 147. Coming from 140, he undisputed at 140, stepped up immediately to go to 147, called out the division tops. He didn't call out the prospects. He called out the tops. He was like, I want champions. That's what I'm here for. He's like the Thanos of freaking boxing right now. Like, I just want to come take belts. And that's what he's doing. Right. So I have no, it's like, I almost feel like Muhammad Ali when he said, I have no quarrel with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, right? That's what it is. He has no quarrel with it. He has no quarrel he has no quarrel with Ortiz.
Can I interrupt you? If that was the case, how come he didn't take the 70-30 split when
because you should be getting paid for what you're worth.
And you're not worth shit. You just admitted
why would I pay? I'm a unified champion in another division.
140. But
I'm right.
But
Rob, where else is
you just contradicted yourself.
Where else has Spence fought? How many divisions has Spence
none
fought?
of that matters.
It does.
No, it doesn't.
It matters in the grand scheme. So your resume doesn't matter next time you take it to a job.
Contradict yourself, Rob. Let me just.
It does matter. That's
contradict yourself.
You're smarter than that. Your resume doesn't matter next time you take it to a job.
You just made it. You're contradicting yourself, and you're literally arguing against yourself.
No, I'm not.
You just said why would he fight? The Virgil Ortiz are these up and comers because it's all about value and what you're worth. That's why you don't fight once a year. You dumb at not you. I'm talking to him.
No, I agree. I agree. He should.
How could you demand 50-50 when you're not active? No one gives a fuck about you. No one knows who you are outside the purists. That's why you fight Virgil Ortiz and just beat the hell out of him. That's why you go to the Spence fight, the Earl Spence Ugas fight, sit front row so the whole world could see you, and they can be like, who's that guy right there? He actually looks kind of cool. What's his name? Oh, why do they keep talking about him?
Yeah.
And just so you're clear, I think it was a disservice to Bud Crawford. I remember a few years ago, he wasn't even on the list. He wasn't even on that I think PBC put
PBC list. They didn't put him on.
Oh yeah, they wouldn't put him up on it. Yeah.
What? So, this is the point I'm making, right? And
so that doesn't help his case either.
If you understand the business of boxing, it behooves a fighter to be active more than it behooves a fighter to sit and wait and do nothing, because it only hurts you. You cannot make an argument for equal pay. What and I said this is why I don't think the fight's going to be made with Crawford and Spence. Why would PBC risk 3 belts against a guy? Any way you look at it, could you respect anyone that thinks it's more than a 60-40 fight? Real short question.
I don't think it. I almost think it needs to be down to percentages.
No. I'm talking.
That's how I feel.
Like percentage-wise, like percentage of better, worse. Would you respect anyone's opinion if they said Spence or Crawford 60%, 60-40 as far as better, worse? Like, You know what I mean? Like if
Personally, if it were me,
In terms of who's getting paid, who's the A side?
no, not money,
The A side.
if it were me,
if I like, let's say like what I'm saying is, like if you take a whole 100%, like, and this is like a betting term, if you were to take 100%, what is the percentage Crawford is beating Spence? 60% of the time, as opposed to 40% for Spence, or 60% for Crawford, 40% for Spence. What is the percentage, best, worst case for both guys?
wait, hold
Like
on.
I have Terrence Crawford versus Spence, a 50-50 fight. Either
Mhm.
guy could win. It's going to be close, you
Mhm.
know?
I'm not mad at that.
I
No,
agree.
but
I
what I'm
agree.
saying is, what as a fan, and you're a boxing coach, and Danny, you've done no boxing your whole life. What's the highest percentage that you would respect? Someone would
60,
rate that
40,
fight.
either way.
I think it's a 50-50 fight. I have more attributes going towards Crawford, but I think I think either one, if either one comes in 100%, or if one doesn't come in 100%, I think that could make the entire pace of the fight. Now, what I also think is,
let me just finish my point. The point
Yeah.
I'm making is, any way you look at it, this is a very close fight. Okay, super close. Most people should have it 50-50, but if you want to give it an advantage 55-45 or 60-40, 60-40 for Spence or Crawford, listen, I'm fine with that, right? But they said this is the point. This is the issue that is going to keep. So Crawford and his fans are saying, well, he wants to unify. That's all he wants to do. But if he truly wanted to unify, he would have done the back work. He would have shown up to the fights. He would do the media, because you can't ask for 50 now, money wise, not fight wise. You can't
that I can agree with.
50, and then PBC. Why would any promoter risk a 50-50 fight, which we all three of us disagreed 50-50? Why would PBC risk 3 belts, right? 3 belts. Basically Spence is what's holding PBC up. I think he's outside of Charlo. Spence, would you agree Charlo's their best?
They've got a lot. I mean, they got both
Charlo, Spence. They still got Keith Thurman.
They got both Charlo.
No, who's their best guy? Who's the best fighter on PBC?
Charlo. Charlo or Spence.
Skill wise?
Yeah. I think you have to have Charlo up there because he's undisputed now.
Yeah, but that
Charlo or Spence, in my
opinion. I would say Charlo.
Okay.
Probably Jamel. Yeah.
Well, either way, it's a debate between Spence. Why would you give up your first or second guy? Why would you're risking the whole promotion? The whole.
I agree that Crawford doesn't come to the table with a lot of outside of what he's actually done in the sport and who he actually is in the sport. He doesn't come with a lot of promotion. He doesn't come with a lot of backing. But what he's actually done in the sport.
Yes, we all know what he brings to the table
in the sport,
like IQ wise, fight wise, is he's
which
the best.
Is why it's dangerous for them to take the fight.
I don't want to. Danny's like, oh, you're a hater. You hate Spence. No, I don't hate Spence. I think he's an excellent fighter.
You mean Crawford?
Crawford. I think he's out of his fucking mind to even utter 50-50.
The business side of it, I agree.
The business side of it, I get exactly what you're saying, because he's not
millions of dollars every day. Okay,
so he's not promoting himself. These are the two factors. He's not promoting himself.
I think that, and I agree with.
And he's not active. He's not active. So these two things are what can have a case against you. He's not active. He's not promoting himself. He's not showing up. If I were Terrence Crawford, this is what I would do, right? I would show up to every Errol Spence fight from here on out until he fights me. Period.
Well, that's too late. I think the next fight is going to be Errol Spence. It's too late.
But so Rob,
no, that's what I would have done though.
No, I agree.
So that would have made this fight even more spicy.
Eddie, Rob, I'm going to ask a question that no one seems to answer. No one can answer for me, and I've been asking it since Ugas Spence fight. How could that fight be made without Crawford signing with PBC? Obviously, a one-fight deal is never. If you say one-fight deal, I'm never going to respect your opinion about boxing again, because that's never. PBC would never do that. No promoter would ever do a one-fight deal.
Well, they were going to do a 2-fight deal. Him and Danny Garcia, and then him and then Spence.
Two fights.
That's what they're going to do.
Yeah, so you think that's a stretch because
that's what they were saying they were going to do, and that didn't happen because Danny's fighting. Danny's fighting his leftovers now at 154.
And then, so if you recall, and just so we're clear, the point I'm making is I said this years ago, and it's on tape. You could check Southpaw. You got a guy. You have Terrence Crawford and Tank Davis have made the exact same complaints about their promoter, outside of Terrence Crawford's frivolous complaints about racism, because they was backed by nothing. There was not a single ounce of
and
evidence.
he won. Did you see that?
What's up?
Did you see that? And he won. Well, he didn't win the whole lawsuit, but he won the ability to go back and actually fight it in court, which is basically what it is. Did you see that?
Yeah, that all that means is I have to read it, but if it's going to go to law, like the lawsuit, all that means is discovery has to be ordered, and then we go from there.
Yeah,
but
it's a waste of time, in my opinion.
So I said there is no. I don't. When I read the complaint and I read it, it was pretty long. It was like 140 pages or something like that. But the only thing in reference to the top ranks, the racial debates, is that Bob Arum spoke bad about PBC and PBC Mayweather and stuff. It wasn't
because they're black.
Yeah, I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
I've heard the same thing that's in the past. Like I think there was an interview with Ray Mercer, and he said something about Bob Arum. And I remember
Bob Arum. If you don't know that Bob Arum is racist, like I mean, you like, come on, really? I mean, who's it? Ray Mercer, Eve Floyd, Oscar De La Hoya,
Iron Markley.
I'm not a Bob Arum fan, so
neither.
And yet again, I could bring in plenty of African Americans.
I think the lawsuit is a waste of time.
That will die before ever saying anything.
Absolutely.
Of course.
So,
I
think the lawsuit is a waste of time. What I hated about it, Adrian, what I hated about it was when he puts the lawsuit out. And like I said, I love Terrence Crawford as a fighter. I think his business savvy is trash. I love him as a fighter. But when he put it out, they were acting like he's this pioneer of black fighters that have been racially discriminated against by Bob Arum. Bro, Bob Arum is a racist. We all know that. Like, it's not.
Floyd said it.
You're just going to now waste time putting a lawsuit against him because you didn't get the fights that you wanted while you were
and just so how silly the whole lawsuit sounds. Like, he's so racist that he lost millions of dollars.
Right. On
Crawford.
On you.
Yeah.
Racist could someone be when it's kind of hard to argue. I mean, if you think about it, if you just look at Ali and Top Rank and Bob Arum's relationship back in the day, I wasn't around then, but I know like the older heads. I've literally had a conversation with them. They're much older than all of us because I don't think anyone were around during the Ali days. But I get you guys don't like Bob Arum. That's fine. I don't like the guy either. I think
I don't like him. I don't care about it. I wouldn't set up a lawsuit against him.
I just think it's really scary in 2022 that you could call someone racist with zero evidence. Has he ever?
There's evidence.
Bomb? I don't know. Tekashi drops the N-bomb. The rapper, the whatever. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, you got. All I'm asking for is if that's a pretty bold, strong claim to call someone racist, you got to get.
I think in a way to say that he's a racist is how people portray it, right? Yeah. So when you think Top Rank, I don't think promoting black fighters. I don't think that. When I think Top Rank, I think promoting European fighters and Mexican or Hispanic fighters. That's what I think. Yeah. I never think promoting black fighters first. When Loma was fighting, Loma was number one pound for
black
pound.
American, right?
Black American. Yeah, I don't look at them as that, right? Like, at least currently, I don't look at them as that. You just watch a Top Rank. You watch a Top Rank like promo now. It's not going to have Shakur Stevenson leading the way. It's going to have like whoever these guys are that they have fighting. I don't even know all of them, to be honest. But most of the time when you see a Top Rank promo, it's what it is. So that now, like I said, I'm just an onlooker, right? I'm not a person that really even dives down deep into the promotion companies like that. I mean, I know who's promoted by who, etc. But I'm just an onlooker. I take myself out of it. I become the devil's advocate. I'm like, hey, look, I don't even watch boxing like that. And when I see a promo of Top Rank, I see Tyson Fury, I see Usyk, and I see Lomachenko. I don't see Keyshawn Davidson. I don't see Shakur Stevenson first. Now you're starting to see these guys more, but you don't see them first. So I think that people have taken that and used that as, hey, he's a racist. Now, are there accusations of Bob Arum being a racist? Absolutely. But does anyone really care? No. Because at the end of the day, right, what's the expectation? Well, I mean, Floyd said it. Floyd had proof.
Who's the convicted convict who beat his wife?
Oscar De La Hoya had proof. Oscar De La Hoya had proof. I mean, there's proof. Ray Mercer had proof.
Did he have proof that he's racist?
Had a whole story about it.
Hispanic or Black Americans?
Huh? It was both. It was both. They were talking about just brown people altogether.
Yeah.
But who cares?
Or you know, Latinos.
Like I said, but who cares? What I look at is it's a waste of time to go and try to take down this freaking whatever you want to call it.
How old is Bob Arum?
He's like 85, 90,
90. He's on it. Like he's on his way out.
And for the record, just so we're all in agreement, Top Rank has lost millions of dollars on Crawford.
Hey, look, like I said, I agree.
I'm just saying it's like
I agree.
You would think like you guys are both African American. I've been through genocide. I'm Albanian, so like I'm Muslim.
No, that's a fact. He's lost money.
But I'm just giving you guys a heads up. Like where I come from, you know, like my culture, you know, I witnessed genocide, which I don't know if you guys haven't been around it, but I grew up genocide. My people went through genocide. I grew up, I witnessed it. It was happening. Like you literally could put on the TV and see it, you know? Right. And then like racism, I've been through it. You know what I mean? Like I look white and whatever, but I've witnessed racism and I've witnessed genocide and I've personally been through it. And I'm not saying you guys haven't, but I'm saying I've been through it.
Right.
And when, you know, for me to, you know, this whole, I laugh at the Crawford, you know, situation.
It's trash.
Your boss overpaid you for years, but now you're not happy with him because you want to join PBC. And then it just, none of it makes any sense.
It's trash.
There's no proof. There's no receipts. And it's just like, if it was any truth to it, all he would have had to have done is go to ESPN News, who loves this whole political bullshit every day. You know, ESPN's all about this stuff. Now they want to push the race debate, which is fine. They make money. It's a big topic, whatever, you know, people buy it up. All you had to do was say, hey, here's this sound bite. I recorded a meeting where, you know, Bob Arum said this and this, you know, like it would have been so easy to just say, media, take this. It's an old white guy, people you hate, who's racist against Black Americans. Boom. It would have been front page for like
that was an opportunity for him, is what you're saying, for him to
like I said, you're beating a dead horse on this one. I 100% agree. I think that this whole entire thing was a waste of time. The lawsuit, all a waste of time. I think if he was going to do anything, what he should have done is just like all the other guys that came through Top Rank that were successful, Floyd, Oscar, bought their way out of their contract and then started their own promotion company.
Yep.
Why would you not do that? That's what I thought he should have done. That's what all these guys do. Devin Haney, 23 years old, has a promotion company.
Yep.
Tank, 28 years old, has a promotion company. Where's Crawford's? You know what I mean? So I think Crawford's promotion is some trash, but I think it's because he doesn't have the team that he needs around him fully. I even feel that way. Now I like Bomac as his coach, but I feel like Bomac, just because he's that big, that tells me something about your discipline. Like, you're that big. What are you actually doing in training camp? Because I've been in training camp.
He talks too much for a coach.
He talks a lot. But I'm like, I've been in training camp. I know what it takes. You got to somewhat be in shape, too, to be able to work around with the guys that you're training. You got to be in some kind of shape.
That's for sure.
Huh?
You calling him fat?
I mean, that's pretty obvious.
I just want it clear on the record. So when he sees,
put it on the record, bro.
He's putting some hands on you, bro.
Put it on the record. He can come to the gym. I'll give him the address. I do not care. What it is that I do feel that way. There are things about Crawford's team I don't like. I feel like if he had a better team around him, but Crawford I love as a fighter. Like, nobody does it like him, in my opinion, as a fighter. Yeah. He's best right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I respect your opinion. It's just the problem is if this fight made financial sense, listen, the sport is all about money. And
Absolutely.
if
100%.
this fight
That's right.
was going to make money, it's
Makes sense.
it's the reason why all these fights get made. It's the
Yep.
reason why UFC shits all over boxing now. And
Mhm.
Jake Paul is where he is. And you
Yep.
have Blueface. Danny, what was that link I sent you? Who's Blueface fighting?
Swaggy P.
Yeah.
Blueface
Swaggy P, Nick Young, man.
Yeah,
Swaggy
Nick
P.
Young. You got this. Like I said, the sport of fight, the fight game is all about business. If you don't understand the business aspect of why fights get made and why fights don't get made, you
That's
know
it.
all the technical. You
That's it.
you trained with all these box. You said you were amateur, you're undefeated.
That's it.
That's
Right.
all great. But if you don't understand, like if you can't acknowledge that business trumps everything you do in
Heck
the
yeah.
boxing
yeah.
is not. I have my cousin. My one cousin is 13-0 in Matchroom. My
Mhm.
other cousin, he's world ranked amateur middleweight. And I've been telling these guys since they were kids in the amateur
Business.
fighting every weekend. I said, guys, if you want to make this a career, it's not what you do in the ring. It has
Mhm.
nothing to do with what you do in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Boxing is all promotion.
Yep.
If look at Rolly Romero, everyone hates on Rolly Romero. Danny, was I not the only one that's like I was even capping? I was like, bro, he's got a chance in this fight, you know?
No
Yeah, because
chance.
he sold himself. He sold
He
himself.
sold himself very well.
Yeah.
And if he had honestly, Adrian, if he had stayed disciplined in that fight, I don't know if he would have won, but it would have been something to talk about. He may not
He
have
won all
gotten
those
knocked out.
rounds. I had
He
him.
won the first 4 rounds, or however many rounds it was.
Yeah.
So no, I 100% agree, especially in the era we're in now. It was different back in the day where people really cared about fighting. Now they really care about who's fighting who. Back in the day, it was I'm just going to fight the best because I want to be the best. And a lot of the boxing periods, the hardcore boxing fans, that's what they're used to. That's what they want to see. That's not what's happening nowadays. Now you're fighting the person that you can maintain your O because we're coming out of the Floyd Mayweather era. So you're fighting the person that, hey, I can beat this guy potentially, or I can fight this guy, but here are all the stipulations as to why I need to win. Like even the Jake Paul-Hasim Rahman fight, that whole entire thing. It's like, well, I'm gonna go fight this guy. He has a name. He has a name. He has 12-1 as a professional, bunch of amateur fights. Son of a former legend, former heavyweight champion. But I'm gonna bring him down to 200 pounds somewhere he's never fought before. I'm gonna have stipulations. We're gonna fight in a month. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna give him a whole lot of time to train because if he comes in 100%, he could potentially knock my head off.
So real quick, let me just interrupt you for real fast because you missed it early. That was the first topic we went over. Mm-hmm. I picked Jake Paul. I think my opinion was Hasim has 1 round, maybe 2 to compete, and then I think Jake Paul lights him up, abuses him, put hands on him.
But like
Danny
I said,
D, real quick, I'm gonna ask you for your opinion. Danny D and Johnny both agreed if Hasim doesn't take a dive, he wins the fight. What's your opinion? I want this on
that he doesn't take a dive.
I want this on camera.
I think I don't really know yet because honestly I don't know enough about Rahman. I don't really know enough about Jake, to be honest. I know that obviously Rahman has a record, but I've seen some of his compilations of people that he's fought, and they look like dudes that you, me, or Danny could probably beat pretty easy, right? So the point of it is, I don't know enough about either fighter to really make like has name value to the degree. Wouldn't be surprised if he knocks out. Right, I agree with that. I wouldn't be surprised if he knocks him out. But then on the other hand, we got to look at the Jake train, right? And boxing is about dollars. Why would Showtime, who has him in a 3-fight deal, put him against somebody that they know that he would get knocked out with? So I think that there's some things there.
Yeah, but business-wise, there's really no one. Bro, I'm telling you, Jake Paul's in a really tough position.
Yeah.
Wise, guys don't want to fight him.
Mm-hmm.
Guys on his level do not want to fight him. So he needs a name. You have to have a following. Guys
said he was going to fight Anderson Silva, which I think would be cool for him.
Yeah, I agree. But Silva, the thing is, that's a lose-lose because Silva's older. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And if he beats Silva, no one's gonna give him credit. Like he's trying to be a legitimate boxer.
Yeah.
That's the difference why the Silva fight doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And listen, for all the Tommy Fury fight was perfect for him.
It
He
was.
would have tapped into the English market.
Yep.
But at where he's at, he's so much better than any guys that are 4-0, 5-0. Because he's older, he has world-class trainers,
And he's
got a
bigger.
personal chef. He's got, probably allegedly some of the best vitamins, wink, wink, in the game.
Yeah, I definitely think that. Yeah, definitely think he's on some supplements.
Yeah.
He's on something.
Legal supplements. Let's not get sued.
Yeah, of course. Right.
Right,
We've been taken down for copyright issues before. But
quite a few times.
Yeah. But no, I don't disagree. I think Rahman could, clearly knock out Jake. I mean, he's a heavyweight fighter, but you got to understand how the boxing side of it works too. That's a lot of weight to come down. And if you were just 230, 240, and you're coming off of a loss of being stopped, all that stuff plays in your head. And you're coming down to 200 pounds, and you can't go past 210 when you rehydrate.
I mean,
that's
now
that
I'm thinking about it,
that's pretty hardcore.
This might be a setup for Jake Paul to possibly win this fight.
It is a setup.
Based on those factors,
it is a setup for him to win.
You have a guy that's Jake Paul. You could say whatever you want. He's at a very high level, cardio-wise, like shape-wise.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen Hasim fight in person. I sat ringside. The guy is really not. He's not a professional fighter.
Yeah.
Listen, I trust your eyes way better than mine. You're in the gym training every day. I haven't trained in a while, but I watched him, and this guy's not a pro. Because he fought. You didn't hear me out. I spoke to his opponent that night. His opponent said, "I got a call less than about a week ago." He said, "He's like 2,500 to show," and he's like, I took it. I drove down here on Friday. He's like, I weighed in, and he's like, I fought. Like, the guy wasn't training, and it was like he didn't look good against him. So I was like,
his dad literally said in the press conference. Did you see the press conference?
Yeah.
Hasim Rahman's dad literally said in the press conference he doesn't do what he's supposed to do in training camp. Basically, I mean, in so many words, he said it differently than that. But
Eric, can we move on to? I have a topic that I brought up to Danny, and I would love both your opinions.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't support many boxers, just so you guys know. I think boxing. The reason being is boxing is one of the most corrupt bullshit sports in the world, right?
Oh, for sure.
But the one guy I always cared about and supported through and through, I think he's one of the best self-promoters in the game. I think skill-wise, he's shown flashes that when he's on, it's like it's why you love boxing. It's like, wow, this guy. When he's on, it's like, your eyes light up. You're like, wow, like this guy's amazing. Adrian Broner. He's got a fight coming up. Where is that? He's back focused. What say you about AB? I'm gonna mute myself. I want to hear you guys talk.
You want to go first, Rob?
I think I'm probably gonna sound like
I'm gonna let you go first on this one.
Yeah. There are so many things about Adrian Broner that could make him the biggest star in boxing if he knew how to stay disciplined. He could have been the biggest star in boxing, period. Promotion-wise, he does things that people like. He's brash in the press conferences. Like, he just got up and walked out of the one he was just in, and that's bringing notoriety back. So I'm like, oh, AB's back there watching. But he looks like trash. I mean, really, he looks like trash. Like, he looks like he probably just finished doing some lean before he got on the that's what he looks like. So, so I'm just real. AB, man, I agree with you. Adrian, he used to be that guy. The flashiness, the skills, and I mean, what's his name? What's his name? Mike Stafford, his coach.
Yeah, Mike Stafford.
They would say that. Everybody. I know Coach. What's his name? Out of Headbangers, Barry Hunter. I know Coach. I know Coach Hunter, Calvin, all these guys, they've been around AB. They see him work. They see, like, if he were to be on, they all say the same thing. Patrice, they all say the same thing. Patrice Harris, they all say the same thing. If AB would let his hands go. If AB would let his hands go, they've seen him do some devastating stuff. But
what about now? Do you think he can make a comeback?
I don't know, man, because I think that he's damaged his body so much just with the drugs, the lifestyle, all the stuff he's been doing. It's going to be hard for him to even get back.
Best case, I think he's fighting at 140. Danny, can you?
He's fighting Omar Figueroa at 147.
47.
But I thought he said he's going to be shooting for 140, though. No,
is he?
He did say that, but
yeah,
I mean, he's probably going to say
that weight down.
Best case, not worst case. Best case, could he become a world champion again?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Not at 147.
Who is he beating? If he goes to 40, who is he beating? Josh Taylor? Is he beating the Regis Prograis? Is he beating any of the top fighters at 40?
Well, if he goes to 140, he might have a shot.
He might.
I think it's going to be tough for him to get back down to 140. He struggled to make 147 his last fight.
He's a small guy, though. He's not that.
He's a small guy.
He is a small guy, but with his discipline problems, that could play a factor in his weight, being able to make weight. So, like Rob was saying, with his body, you got to be clean, bro, in this sport. Like you can't just take like a whole 2-3 years off and just go and dog your body and then come back and think it's going to respond the same. It doesn't work that way. Not in boxing, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Well, not in most sports, but definitely not in boxing.
We're gonna find out, right?
Yeah. So I think
his opponent, Figueroa, you know him well.
A little bit. He's not bad.
Figueroa, he fought Yordanis Ugas on a 147 unification. It was an elimination match. It was on the undercard of Pacquiao versus Thurman. His last fight, he got beat by Abel Ramos. He got stopped. So he's coming off a unanimous decision.
So that makes sense. Abel Ramos is kind of that guy. I'm excited to see what he does next.
All right, Abel Ramos. I want to do a rapid fire for you guys. I'm going to give you fights. Your first indication who wins.
Okay. For who?
I'm going to go by different ways. I'm going to jump around because this is how I get to know if you're like what type of boxing fan you are.
Okay.
December, Haney versus Tank Davis.
That's a tough one.
Stylistically.
No, we got to answer.
Who wins?
We got to answer.
Short answer.
Haney.
Go ahead, Danny.
I'm going with Devin Haney. By unanimous decision.
Just okay, yeah. Just let me know who do you give me who wins and how.
Devin Haney by this close unanimous decision.
I'm gonna say Tank, and the reason why I'm gonna say that is because we've seen Devin hurt by punches that shouldn't have hurt him. I'm not saying he has a glass chin, but we've seen him hurt by punches that shouldn't have hurt him. And if Tank hits him, it might be a wrap.
Okay.
And plus I have some history on that based off of sparring sessions and stuff.
Next fight, and I love. Oh man, I wish this fight gets made. Regis versus Tio 140 next year, March.
Ooh, that's tough, bro.
It's not tough for me. I know exactly who I would say win that fight.
Wait, with the opinion that Tio is past the mental shit, he wins his next fight.
Teo 100% in my opinion.
Teo. Yeah. When you add that, Teo.
All right, 147. Okay. Boots versus Ortiz.
Boots. Hands down.
For sure.
No question.
Boots. 100%.
No question.
Late round stoppage.
Like I said,
Boots TKO 9.
So the only reason I don't have Boots beating the elites yet is because I haven't seen him do enough.
Okay.
But Boots is a problem.
Summer next year. You guys got me?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Summer next year. Spence. Crawford beats Spence.
Mm-hmm.
Charlo beats Zeus. Summer next year. Jamal Crawford 154.
Crawford and Jamel?
Yeah.
Crawford and Jamel.
154 summer next year.
I'm gonna go Crawford.
I'm gonna go with Crawford.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Crawford because if he beats Spence,
decision.
Here, I want to give you a little bit of logic why. Here, I'm gonna give you a little bit of logic why.
And just so real quick, Spence, just to be clear, Bud beats Spence. I'm not saying stops him and like it's dominant. He beats Spence. Let's just say he beats him like fair and square, and then Charlo beats Costa's son. Tim Zeus, pretty convincingly. So that summer, I think Crawford would be 37 years old, moving up to 154, 154 pounds.
That would be the time to do it because your body isn't coming down anymore, so you got to move up. He's probably struggling to make 147 now. Yeah, he's probably struggling to make 147 now.
Right, he's not getting any younger.
I'm gonna give you a little bit of logic as to why. If he beats Spence, he beats Jamel. If he doesn't beat Spence, he doesn't beat Jamel. Because Spence and Jamel are so close in the way they train, they're basically the same person. At Spence is a little bit different, but the way Derek James trains them, they don't throw combinations. They pepper the jab, and he said it. He said he don't even teach combinations. He teaches pepper the jab, and then put punches together, but he doesn't call them combinations. So if he beats Spence, he beats Jamel. If he loses to Spence, he loses to Jamel. They're the same guy.
Right. So 160.
Woo!
Right? End of the year. One of my favorite fighters, Conor Ben versus Chris Eubanks.
They're supposed to actually fight.
They're actually supposed to fight.
Yeah, but that's
funny.
Conor Ben, Chris Eubanks, 100,000 people in one of these at the O2.
O2.
Who wins? The biggest fight 160 and below in a long time. This fight's going to be bigger than any of these stupid overrated Americans. They fight. As I said, 100,000 people. This fight's going to be wow. Okay?
Listen, bro, that fight, thanks for having me on, man. But listen, I'm nearly 50 years old, bro. But that fight's garbage, bro.
Well, real quick, we're doing rapid fire. You could say it's garbage. It's still selling 100,000 people.
Yeah, it's going to sell.
I don't care about that.
I know you don't, but you're boxing curious. You don't buy the pay-per-views. We don't care about us.
No, but I'll buy for pay-per-views, bro. I'll buy more pay-per-views than you, bro. But listen, I'm not fussed about that fight, bro.
Well, who wins that fight? Who do you pick?
So it is what it is, bro.
Who wins it?
Who wins the fight? If they
I'll buy pay-per-views all the time, bro, but I'm not fussed about that fight, my man. You know what I mean?
So what can I say? I don't know your name. I'm sorry. Welcome.
Yeah, man. Phil, I'm from Birmingham in the UK, bro.
Hey, God bless. I'm watching.
Shout out to the UK, man.
Who wins that fight, guys? I need some picks.
I'm gonna say because of Ben's size, Eubank isn't really a power puncher, right? He's not at all. So he's not gonna hurt you. Conor Ben is coming up from 147 to 160. He has weight. He has punching power at 147. I mean, he's teeing off. Like, I mean, he cleared out Algeria their last fight. And not that Algeria is somebody that has a chin of anything.
Yeah, I'll get my camera off. So you might get a better connection now, bro.
Yeah. So you guys are both picking Eubanks?
I'm not done yet. I'm giving you the. I know it's rapid fire. My fault. I mean, I like to explain it. But I think if Ben can withstand any kind of initial pressure. Now, I want us to also focus on this. Who Eubank is being trained by right now? He's being trained by Roy Jones. Roy Jones is a great fighter. Roy Jones is not a great trainer. I mean, take it for what it is. He's a great fighter, but fundamentally, I mean, I got me on camera saying it. Fundamentally, he never had it.
Yeah, but Roy the best Banks has ever looked was with Roy Jones.
Huh?
The best that Eubank has ever looked was with Roy. That's a fact.
He looks better, but what I'm saying is he doesn't look. I mean, but who did he have training before? He looks better with Roy, right?
Yeah. He had the TNT guy, bro. He had the TNT guy. The guy before Roy Jones for Eubank was the TNT dude. That's who he was training with. Floyd Mayweather. That guy.
senior, yeah.
Yeah.
He looks okay, but what I didn't like in his last fight is he was doing a little bit too much stuff that we've seen Roy do.
It was showboating
Too much showboating. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
That's
real quick, I'll
So
make a
if
better
he-
fight at 160. Let's
So
say
if he-
Triple G, Canelo, someone gets injured December this year, end of the year.
Facts.
Triple G versus Eubanks, 160 in London, the O2. Who wins that fight?
Triple G takes his head off.
Yeah.
Even at this age.
Yeah,
I don't see him withstanding that pressure.
I might actually change my view on that. I'm gonna go Eubanks in that fight, bro.
By how? How does he win that
By
fight?
what though?
I think it's stopping.
You think he stops him?
Big
Yeah,
words.
because
Do you think that Triple G is too? Is it because of
think
his
he's too
age?
old now?
What are the factors?
yeah, listen, I watched him against Murata, bro. He was getting
looked old.
destroyed. He looked, yeah.
He looked old.
I'm not really sort of guy to talk much, but I will like talk and come on and shit like that. But listen, bro, that guy's old, bro. He's gonna get
old.
bodied against guys. That guy's gonna get done, bro.
Yeah. So now next fight. Conor Benn versus Virgil Ortiz, September 2022. So it's 3 months from now.
That's a body.
The fight would be in Vegas though, so it's a neutral territory. I think Conor Benn's the most popular guy at 147. I think he's the biggest star at 147, just for the record. Who wins? How? Go.
You just had Conor Benn at 160, so now we're having it at 47.
He's at 147 now. So
yeah, he's at 147.
Yeah, he's at 47 now. Yeah.
He's moving up to 160 to fight Eubanks.
You saying Conor Benn versus Virgil Ortiz?
Conor Benn, 147. And yet again, the only reason why I bought Benn and Eubanks is that, listen, your buddy here could explain that shit better than us Americans over here.
Oh, yeah.
They have their UK issue. Those guys are proven. They're warriors. They're not like Americans that are afraid to fight. UK, you fuck with a dude from UK, they'll stop eating. They'll take the food out their mouth just to fight. Not like
listen,
Americans are pussy when it comes to boxing.
No, I disagree, bro, because I'm nearly 50. I'm nearly 50 years old, and Eubank and Ben, they didn't want that Michael Nunn smoke, bro, or James Toney. They would have smoked.
Nunn.
Yeah,
yes,
and you're talking about UK fighters being the big guy. They didn't want no James Toney smoke, bro. Come on, man.
But there's a difference between like knowing they're gonna lose and fighting each other. These guys will fight.
They would have got destroyed by James Toney or Roy Jones.
But like I said, there's obviously a difference in class. Like we know that. There's no disputing it. Like when what's his name? What's that dude that that Canelo beat? The dude from Billy Joe. Remember Billy Joe?
He was garbage, bro.
But hear me out. He was honest. He's like, Triple G would beat both of us the same night. There's a difference between class and then fighting each other. That's
but the thing. But you should be saying that pre-fight. You shouldn't be saying stuff like that pre.
Yeah, but it's true though. It's true.
Yeah, it may be true. It may be true that anything, but you don't say that before you're getting in the ring with somebody. I used to box with Joey.
Conor Benn, Virgil Ortiz, September. So this is kind of both guys step up in competition.
I got Virgil Ortiz in the 9th round, bro, laying him out cold.
I don't know. That's a tough one, man. Because Conor is a little. He's. I like Conor, but Virgil Ortiz is a problem too. So I mean, that's a tough one. I would probably say just because of the traveling, just because of him not being used to that, because he'll be in Vegas, right?
Yeah.
UK guy coming to Vegas. Kind of. I don't want to peg everybody like AJ. AJ fell apart when he came to the US, but AJ separated at the seams, right? But
you pick somebody, please.
Yo, that's crazy. It's true, AJ got destroyed, bro.
Bro, fighters get too much hate, man. We gotta give them some love, man. Come on.
Man, I like Conor. Like I said, I like Conor, man.
This is a pro UK
Pro UK crowd.
This is a pro UK podcast, man.
Absolutely.
He
I like
drives
UK
around
crowd.
my area. Like Conor Ben lives in my area. He drives around here in I live in the inner city of Birmingham. I think he's from Australia originally, but he drives around this area. Like he gets all his car modifications here. He does
He's that
everything.
guy.
Yeah, he's all right, bro.
Yeah, I like him. Man, this is a tough one. I'm gonna go Conor Ben. I'm gonna go Conor Ben, but it'll be unanimous decision because I don't see him stopping. I don't see him stopping with these.
All right, so let me say this, right? This is man, that's tough. Conor Ben or Virgil Ortiz? I would have to, man. Conor Ben's a beast, man. He's
solid, bro.
He's
Can't knock him out. He can't knock Ortiz out.
Yeah, I don't see him
knocking. No, he won't knock him out. He won't knock him out. So I will have to say Conor Ben split decision. Split.
All right. So
decision.
here's a fight that I don't understand why it hasn't happened. December this year. Okay. 168. David Benavidez and Jermell Charlo, the 168 one, not Jermell.
That's the
168.
161.
He's at one there. Well, yeah, Benavidez is at 168. Jamal's at 160, but they have to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah. He would have to.
Jermell, not Jamal. Jermell.
Yeah, Jermell.
Jermell
154.
No, am I confusing the names? I'm sorry.
Jamal is the big one,
bro. Charlo versus David Benavidez. Who wins? Finally, one of these guys face each other. Who wins?
So I'm gonna say David Benavidez because he's coming. First off, you're coming up from 160 to 168. It's 8 pounds. He's never had to really flow with David Benavidez. Now, here's the thing, though, and the thing that people don't talk about, they just talk about David Benavidez as being this unstoppable force. David Benavidez gets hit a lot. So if he gets hit by Charlo, and Charlo does have some pop, but Charlo doesn't. If he gets hit by Charlo, it could change the whole scope of the fight. If he gets hit, caught, clean.
So you're picking David Benavidez?
But I'm picking David Benavidez.
By what? Okay. By decision or by knockout?
I think it'll be a decision because I don't see him stopping Charlo.
Yeah,
I do. I'm gonna go late round stoppage, David Benavidez. I think he's too big, too strong at this point for Jamal. That's probably why Jamal has been talking all this trash about fighting him and has not fought him yet.
All right.
They've been talking about
fight. Next fight. We guys all picked Benavidez. 168. Canelo versus Bifall at 168 next year.
That's not gonna happen, bro.
I'm picking. This is just rapid
fantasy fights. Fantasy
boxing is fantasy fights.
It really is.
No fight.
Unless you're in the UFC, we have to make fantasy fights because nobody's fighting each other.
Yeah, boxing
is nobody's fighting each other.
We had Dana White as a promoter. Shoot, man, Spencer Crawford would have been something of the past. This would be
they probably had a third fight by now. They probably would have
a third fight of the trilogy by now.
Man,
who was it that you named? I didn't hear you.
Who was it again? Who were we talking
168, about? Canelo versus Bivol. Rematch next year.
Oh, Bivol beats him again. He has his number.
Yeah,
he has his number. That wasn't a size thing.
Canelo had nothing to do with size.
Yep. Yeah, that wasn't a size thing.
You don't wait real quick. You don't think the vegan diet was a
No, bro. Come on, man. No chicken. Stop.
It wasn't a clenbuterol, right?
I really want.
Man, that's crazy.
The fight fans this for a while. December this year, Wilder versus Andy Ruiz.
Wilder.
I don't want to see that fight. I want to see Wilder against Dillian White. I want to see Dillian White get laid out cold, bro.
We've seen that enough times. We just saw that.
I want to see it again, bro.
Man.
I'm a sadist, bro. I want to see that again.
I did.
You guys just pick real fast because my next question is going to be pretty interesting too.
So you said Wilder Ruiz.
I said Wilder.
I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that.
Wilder.
I don't want to see that.
I'm not a Wilder fan by no means.
I don't know, man. It's a tough one because Wilder has the length, but he doesn't have the boxing ability, and Ruiz has the hand speed, and he knows how to close distance. So
but he also doesn't have the most discipline.
Well, I mean, he's been pretty disciplined here now recently. He's been in. I mean, he fights Luis Ortiz in September, I think it is. So he's been pretty disciplined so far. I think that's 50-50. If Wilder catches him, obviously he's going to sleep. But you got to think about it. AJ hit him with his hardest punch, and he got up, and he was out of shape. So
yeah,
I think Wilder should pull that off, though, probably in the later rounds once Andy starts to slow down some.
My problem with Wilder was his trainer. Like I used to be benching like 340 pounds when I was like 21 years old.
Right.
Like I'm just a nerd. Look at me. Look a nerd. Look at that. Look a nerd. Like this guy Wilder, it took him till he was 34 to bench like 200. Yeah. Listen, my problem.
He had him benching like 350 in his camp.
Yeah, my problem with Wilder is Jay Diaz, bro.
Yeah.
So pick somebody, because my next question is gonna factor off. I'm gonna base my next question based on who you guys pick.
Go on, bro.
Okay, so the next fight, let's say Usyk, AJ doesn't happen. Usyk pulls out. He's like, I mentally I'm not there. Doesn't happen. Wilder fights the winner of King Kong and Andy Ruiz. He wins. Early next year, Anthony Joshua versus Wilder.
It's a good fight. I got Wilder in
Wilder, 100%. 100%.
Wilder, bro.
And
I'm gonna play devil's advocate and say,
both guys.
Oh, of course you will, Danny. You like it.
Real quick, Danny Cobb and my buddy from UK. Mind you, let's say Joshua fights Dylan White, beats him. They're both coming off a win next year. Who wins?
Bro,
I'll start with my buddy from UK. You go first.
This is the easiest question on the planet, man. Wilder would ice that dude within 2 rounds, bro.
Straight up.
There you go, man. I don't even need to put any icing on that, bro.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't believe that, but okay.
It's facts, bro. And here's why you know.
I'm surprised.
Here's why you know. Remember we were talking about AJ earlier, right? Now here's the thing. I'm gonna talk about this for a little bit. Okay, here's the thing. If the AJ that we see, well, you said he doesn't fight Usyk, so Robert Garcia training goes out the window too, right? So he's back. Now he's back.
He's back with Robert McCracken?
He's back to Robert McCracken. He stays with listen, Usyk pulls out, he fights Dylan White, whatever bullshit fucking UK guy. He beats him, and then
Wilder would kill him, bro. Wilder would kill him, bro.
So if he's back to McCracken or if he's with Garcia, it really honestly it's a little bit more of a intriguing question just because of how he would look with Garcia.
I'll give him another 2 rounds.
Wow.
Hey, real quick, let me get Danny's opinion because I don't agree with either of you guys. But go ahead, Danny.
Danny's an AJ fan. Danny's an AJ. I had to convince Danny not to like AJ.
Come on, bro.
I do like AJ, man. I think he's the most accomplished heavyweight. He's been one of the more accomplished heavyweights in the division.
Well, come on, man.
You can't. But he is chinny. I will say that. If Wilder doesn't hit him on the chin,
which is very likely. It's very likely he's going to hit him on the chin, bro. He's going to hit him on the chin within the first 2 seconds of the fight, bro. That's dumb, bro.
If he can withstand the punishment.
There is no punishment when it comes to Wilder.
No. All jokes aside.
The way that AJ fights, there is no punishment that's going to need to come.
That guy is his head's going to get taken off, bro.
Man,
all right. So, Danny, can I get a pick, please?
I will go with AJ. I'll go with
AJ. All right. So now here, the last fight, and then I'm going to head out because I'm trying to watch this UK card.
No, we wanted to know why do you pick AJ?
I just don't think Wilder technically is good.
What?
He's not.
So
he's a terrible boxer, but he has an equalizer.
I don't think
but I've seen
AJ gets hit by those.
I've seen AJ outbox.
Got hit by Klitschko. Klitschko's one of the hardest punchers in boxing history.
Yeah. But guys, the question was directed towards me. This is what I would think.
Sorry, bro.
AJ could outbox Ruiz fairly easily, I see the same exact style of fight, and he's way more skilled now with the actual real trainer. I just think he outboxes Wilder fairly easily. I that's what I believe. Could he get knocked out? Anyone could get knocked out. It's boxing, but I think it's a pretty clean sweep. He wins that fight fairly easy. For me, that's what I think.
I like that.
Now, I get your logic, right? But AJ's been training this way with McCracken since he started boxing. I'm a trainer. I've seen fighters go through changes.
Yeah,
that doesn't happen in one fight. He's not going to come out and be fleet-footed and be Muhammad Ali or Mayweather in one fight. He's not. But I do see your logic. But the only thing is that AJ gets hit with right hands.
Yeah.
You can only get hit with one right hand. You can only get hit. You can't get hit. I'm sorry. You can't get hit with a right hand from Deontay Wilder. You can't.
He's gonna catch AJ all night.
I believe
at least at distance.
I'm not disagreeing with you guys. I'm just saying this is what I feel. Could he get caught? Yeah. But I'll take my chance with the better boxer who's bigger, stronger, faster. You know.
I don't even think it lasts around. I don't even think that fight lasts around.
He went from 4-1. He's like, I don't think they should fight. I don't think they should fight. They shouldn't even fight.
I got the last fight. Josh Taylor moves up to 147.
Who?
It takes on Keith one-time Thurman.
Who, Boots?
Keith Thurman and Boots?
No. Josh Taylor moves up to 147.
Okay. Ooh.
And takes on Keith
Thurman.
One-time Thurman.
I don't think Taylor should take that fight, to be fair. You're just giving that guy a payday.
But he's moving up.
Yeah, maybe, but you don't give an old Scientologist a payday, bro.
Wait, are you from Scotland? Real quick, are you from Scotland or UK? Because, like, bro, you should know Josh Taylor better than all of us.
But listen, you don't give Tom Cruise a payday, bro. Nobody's interested in that, bro.
They actually were talking about that fight.
Wait, real quick. What's the next fight for Josh Taylor? He's not fighting at 140.
He needs to fight.
He needs to fight the guy who he
needs to fight the guy he lost to, which is Catterall at 147.
Exactly. Fight's done. It's not going to happen. He's moving up to 147. The only ideal fight for him would be a Keith Thurman. He's not going to fight Boots. He's not going to fight Spence.
I'm not watching that. I'm not watching the
Polish guy. There's that Polish guy. I forget his name.
Yes. I can't pronounce his name.
Yeah, that guy. That might be a good step up.
I know you guys talk about.
Because he still has a belt.
With that being said, Keith Thurman will beat Josh Taylor.
Yeah,
Keith Thurman.
Point blank.
Fight.
Yeah. It's a good fight, but I think Keith Thurman wins that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say
I don't watch that. I'm not.
I wouldn't say
who at 147. Okay, so I'll actually a hypothetical question. If you were managing Josh Taylor's career, who at 147 would you put him up against?
Stanionis.
Place for him to
Stagionis, whatever his name is. I wouldn't put him at anybody that's got a name yet. Not yet. I'd see how he does against them, and then we maybe potentially moving on. I wouldn't even put him in there with Thurman because Thurman didn't look bad when he fought Barrios. He actually looked the best I've seen him look.
Yeah, he looked okay.
He's not like falling off unless he's not training anymore.
I think Taylor's time's done, bro. I think, listen, he got exposed against that guy. It doesn't matter who he goes up against 147 now. That guy is food. He's food. Whatever Taylor goes up to now, they've seen his weakness.
Oh, if he goes up to 47, he's in big trouble.
He's gonna get smoked, bro. He's
not making 140 anymore. It's not happening.
He's talking all this stuff about Terrence Crawford. He's got Jack Catterall problems right now.
Yeah,
couldn't even deal with people at his own weight. So
okay, let me stick with. Well, he was unified. You guys got to put some respect.
No, he is a pound for pound guy.
I don't know why. I mean, listen, he had a bad weight cut and he had a tough fight.
He's
you guys are making right like this guy's career is just. We're just gonna.
No. He is undisputed. He is a pound for pound.
Guy. Was undisputed.
Yeah, he dropped the IBF.
He dropped the IBF.
And I think didn't one of them vacate his belt? I think he only has one belt now, but
No, he's still got
lost
3.
one
bro.
fight. You guys gotta pump the brakes. He didn't lose the fight, but you know what I mean. Like he had one
Well,
bad
he did
showing
lose the
in
fight,
his
yeah.
entire career.
No, he's a great fighter. We're not saying that Josh Taylor's not a good fighter.
No,
We're
no,
just saying that there's absolute killers at 147. If he wants to get his teeth knocked out,
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. You're talking, and then you're giving me you're giving me a
So then,
fantasy matchup with him and
who's the
Keith
best?
Thurman,
If who's
and
the best
so
guy
I'm
that?
thinking that Keith
I
Thurman.
don't even rate Furman. I don't even like Furman or rate him. I think he could beat Taylor. I don't even like the guy.
Okay. So then I'll ask this question. You guys seem to love Catterall so much. Catterall versus Regis, who wins?
A Regis progress.
Regis?
I don't know. I'm asking.
Well, actually, Catterall beat what's his name? What's that guy's name that actually fought Regis and beat Regis? I can't remember the guy's name. I need to get my names right.
Not you. Hold on.
But
Hold on.
Catterall. Now, here's the thing: we
I
can't.
don't think Regis
I
ever
had
lost,
walked away.
bro.
I had walked away for a second. But you guys were going back and forth on Taylor fighting Thurman, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, no. Thurman watches him. But if he fights, Thurman watches him. It's just Thurman hits easily at a 147, even to 154 type.
I get that, but like
So-
you guys are disrespecting Josh Taylor now.
No.
And I'm like I said, I'm gonna get you guys. I'm gonna.
So
I'm
Taylor,
setting trap for you
though,
guys. I got
Taylor, in my opinion,
It's not
in my
Taylor Hayes.
opinion, though,
Catterall versus Regis, the guy that beat Regis. But okay,
Yo, bro, we don't hate Taylor. We're just saying, like, I'm from the UK. I don't live far from where Taylor lives. We're not saying that we're not saying that we hate Taylor.
well, you said he's done. I didn't say you hate him. You said he's done.
He is. If he goes to 147, he's
I
washed,
think
bro.
147.
Bro,
is
who
the
does he
best
beat at
one.
47, Adrian?
Yeah,
Come
I-
on, bro.
Who does he beat
You know
at
what
47?
though? You know what's crazy though? If Taylor gets with the right trainer, because Taylor does have size. He's much bigger than what we think.
Yeah, he's very
He's
skillful.
big. He's bigger than Crawford. He's bigger than Spence, taller at least than both of these guys. Because I saw a video of them walking together. He's got him, but he's got Crawford by at least 2 or 3 inches. At least.
Yeah.
Just
So,
so we're
I mean-
clear,
But his issue, I know their team and I know what they do. They were in Fuerteventura. They used to be with the MTK. They like this too much. They drink. They drink too much. So
Yeah, you can't.
you
do
have
that.
exactly. And
Yeah,
Taylor's like
exactly.
31, 32 years old. You have to know what's going on within the teams. He's already undisputed. That's the best thing that their country's ever done, Scotland. He should be proud of that. But if he goes to 147, he's gonna get smoked, bro.
So here's the thing. Now that it's my turn to talk. I think you guys got to chill. I think he had a very bad weight cut, and if you know anything about weight cuts, because yet again, in boxing, it's not as a bad of an issue whereas MMA.
Yeah, we agree.
When guys have a bad weight
I
cut,
agree with that.
they don't look good. And Josh Taylor's biggest weapon is his pace. If you guys watch him, ever watch him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
we agree.
So this is what I'm saying. Him moving up to 147, like obviously it's tough because some of the best guys are unproven, like Boots and Virgil Ortiz.
That's
You know
what I'm
what I mean?
saying. So
That's what sucks for 147, but
right.
he doesn't have to fight these guys.
So
But
what you're saying?
So who would
what
you
you're-
suggest him fight?
I
And that's
think
what
what
I think
you're
it's
saying he might have the experience over them. You're saying he might. I understand what you're saying. You're saying that he's got he could actually out experience these dudes because he's probably been in world championship fights against like Ramirez and guys like that.
well,
Is that what you're saying?
he's perfect height for that weight class. He won't be. He's not like he's going to be punching up. He's probably still going to continue to punch down or at same level.
I can feel that. I can
It-
feel that.
Like I said, if you take away the last fight, before the last fight with Catterall, people were saying, "Yo, him and Crawford would be a good fight."
Yeah,
Well,
it would have been.
no. People weren't saying that. Bob Arum wanted that fight.
But I'm
Because it's two top guys.
it was
Yeah.
doable though. It wasn't like,
Yeah.
oh, he'll get killed. No, bro, Josh Taylor was fuck
No, I
anyone.
still thought he would get killed.
was
But
fucking-
I still think he would have got knocked out, bro.
Is-
Come on, bro. Come on,
It
bro.
was still a competitive fight. Like people were like making it like, yo, he could do it.
I think Danny Garcia would knock Josh Taylor out.
Well, and
Whoa.
we're real-
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Whoa, that's tough.
It's
I don't know
not
about that
tough.
one.
It's not tough. He was falling for the left hook. That fight with Castro is falling for the left hook every time. He was dodging it. He was getting clipped. That Danny Garcia hits you with a left hook clean,
okay.
bro.
Yeah. Danny Garcia does have a great.
He's gonna do you up,
But
bro.
what version of Danny Garcia is this right now?
I
You know
I
what I'm
think.
saying? Like, who has Danny Garcia beaten at 47?
Listen, that
Nobody.
guy's on. He's on fight hype too much with his sisters running around in his pink tops, bro. That guy's an idiot.
Danny Garcia, him and his father, bro.
Guys, second, let me make a quick point because I think I've been on fire today. So first and foremost,
My man.
I'm
Come
just
on, bro.
gonna make a point to Josh Taylor, and I'm not a Josh Taylor fan. You put in Josh Taylor versus Kell Brook at 147, he fucking beats the living shit out of Kell Brook. Okay?
What version of
Yeah,
Kell
he
Brook?
would.
You
Yeah,
put
but
in
that Kell
Kell
Brook
Brook
still,
is
bro.
that?
any version of Amir Khan.
Leave Brook alone, bro. Leave Brook alone, bro.
You put
Hey,
in.
man, don't be ragging on my man Kell Brook, man.
He's got like two glass eyes, bro. Leave that
You
dude
put in
alone.
Josh Taylor versus
Leave
Porter.
that dude alone, bro. Leave him alone, bro.
Josh Taylor most likely beats Porter. Doesn't stop him, but he beats Porter at 147.
Yeah, but leave Sean alone. Sean is on PBC Fox doing commentary. Leave him alone as well.
No,
bro.
but can I make a point?
He's making a point.
No.
He's making a point. Continue, Adrian. I get what you're saying.
Let me make a point because why
Sorry, man.
you
Go ahead,
can't,
Adrian. Go ahead.
you can't argue, debate with me because you're going to be wrong. I just mentioned that
on.
the last 3 fights Crawford fought, and Josh Taylor beats them all. So why can't he move up to 147?
What
I
was
don't think
Crawford's
it's, I don't think
last
it's
3
guaranteed he
fights,
beats
bro?
all those guys.
There's
One
no
at a time, one at a
guarantee of
time.
that. There's no guarantee to that.
What was
I
Crawford's
think he
last?
beats Porter. I think he beats Porter.
Guaranteed?
What's up?
You think he guaranteed beats Porter?
Yeah.
Leave Sean alone, bro. Leave Sean. They're both in Las Vegas. Him and his
Bro, are you
dad, man.
serious?
Come on.
Yes. I think, bro, you have to. I don't know if you ever watched Josh Taylor box.
I did. I
Bro,
watched a lot
his
of fights.
pace.
He
I
does
watched
have a
his
pace.
I
There's
watched
no
his
He does have
whole
a
career.
tremendous pace, but so does Sean.
And I
So
think he's
somebody's
bigger.
gonna
Now,
have to
Sean's pace and
Come on,
Sean's
man.
Real quick.
strength.
1 second,
Sean-
Danny. This is your show. I believe he's taller than Porter.
Yeah, yes.
He
Like,
is.
All
He
right,
is.
here's what
Only by an
here's
inch.
what I'm going to say. Which
Him,
Porter are we talking about? Because the
That's
Porter
what I'm
that
trying
fought
to say.
Spence, he beat Spence in my opinion. He got
And
knocked
look-
out.
No, the guy right now, not the fucking bro. We're not talking prime. We're talking right now. He's moving up now. If
Oh, well, I mean,
if Porter
Porter's
doesn't
retired.
retire and
We
he
want
fights,
Porter now.
Porter's
Oh,
retired.
come on,
He's
bro.
retired now.
if he
Yeah,
didn't
leave-
retire, that's what I'm saying. He
If he gets back in the ring and fights Josh Taylor
Well,
right
leave
now,
Sean
as
alone,
is,
man.
as is,
Yeah, I
as
mean,
is, right? You're
What does he
saying
do
as
with
is.
Ugas?
Yeah.
Why don't we put him in there with Ugas? What's he do with Ugas?
Yo, Sean was on a live stream
Does
the other
Josh
day
Taylor
with
beat
us,
Ugas?
bro.
Does he
Leave
beat
Sean
Keith
alone, bro.
Thurman?
real
Does
I
quick.
he
guarantee
beat
you right now. I
Does
guarantee
he
you right
beat Ortiz?
now, Adrian. If he comes up and he fights anybody of note, he's going to lose. I'm not talking about people that have retired.
Anybody
Because you
retired.
mentioned two
Even
people that are
Boots.
retired, and you said he fights them right now. Hold on 1 second, Danny. And you said he fights them right now. That makes no sense because they're both retired. Amir Khan and Sean Porter are retired. But if he comes and fights somebody of note, hold on, let me finish. If he comes in and he fights Virgil Ortiz, he fights Boots, he fights Crawford, he fights Spence,
He's gonna get
Jonas,
rinsed.
he fights
rinsed.
Thurman. Who does he beat in those 6 people?
Nobody.
Not a soul.
I would have him. The best chance is if I
Come
was.
on, bro. Come on, bro.
Hear me out.
Hey, look, I'll give you one more. Josecito Lopez. You got 7 guys. Who does he beat?
I think even Josecito Lopez beats him, bro. I got.
Whoa! You think
Yeah,
Josecito
I
beats
think
him?
he knock him out, bro. I think he knock him out.
You think Josecito beats
He's
him?
giving Taylor no credit. I don't know about that one. But I added Josecito. I added Lopez for a reason.
The point, the purpose of real quick, guys. Give me 1 minute. The whole purpose of my questioning was to just expose how terrible of a resume the last 3 years of Terrence Crawford was.
What about Devin Haney against Taylor at 140?
You guys all acknowledged it in the last 2 minutes. I had it.
Come on, bro.
They weren't retired when they fought him. You mentioned retired fighters.
He fought him a year ago. He's retired. It just goes to show you how overrated Crawford.
Sean
Crawford
Porter
47.
got up for the fight.
That's the original point. Now let me
Amir
ask.
Khan, he fought 4 years ago.
Let
Come
me
on, bro.
answer the question.
I like
Come
Adrian.
on,
Bro.
it's not the same guy.
I like Adrian, but come on, bro. Come on.
man.
Adrian.
Man, you acting like Sean Porter was on his deathbed when Terrence Crawford
like
fought.
Well, you want Sean Porter to fight from the grave, bro. You want Sean Porter to fight from the grave, bro. You want an old Sean Porter coming up like Darth Vader,
Now
bro.
all of a sudden he gets stopped for the first time in his career. I mean,
they don't want to give the
Porter
credit.
gets stopped for the first time in his
never
career.
forget.
Now all of a
Hey,
sudden
real quick.
he's damaged.
Never forget Adrian Broner.
Adrian Broner knocked him down in the 12th.
That's
Never
a fact.
forget AB dropped Porter.
That
That's
is
all I
true.
gotta say.
I knew you. That is true.
I'll bring up
Yeah.
shit you guys don't even think about. But
No, I know
Yeah,
that.
well, better be, yeah.
I was
Better.
saying it with you because
Yeah, but
obviously you like AB. I'm not a.
But
I'm not opposed
yeah,
to.
but listen. If you
I
know
was saying
box,
it with you.
if you know
fuck
boxing,
it. AB versus
wait a
Josh
second,
Taylor
bro.
147.
Hold
Make
on.
it happen.
Better Biev.
Hold on. What were you saying?
I just said Better Biev dropped Usyk and knocked him out in the amateurs. I bet you never knew that.
No. Hey, Sean Porter beat Usyk in the amateurs.
And I think Sean Porter beat Usyk in the amateurs as well. So there you go.
And Danny Garcia.
Real quick,
and
can I
Danny
ask my buddy
Garcia-
from UK something real fast?
Castaño beat Spence. Castaño beat Spence in the amateurs. We're gonna keep doing this.
And that's crazy.
Let me ask a quick question. My buddy from UK is
man.
Paddy Pimblett. Is he a big deal where you're at?
Listen, bro, that guy, the only thing he should sell is rucksacks, bro.
I didn't hear you. I didn't hear what he said.
He said the only thing he should sell is rucksacks.
Oh, okay. I'm just. I don't know. Like I
Yeah.
said, I don't. I have some friends from UK, and they think like Darren Till. They keep telling me Darren Till and Paddy are like superstars in UK.
Who
They're like,
cares, bro? Listen, you're speaking to the guy from Birmingham, bro, Second City, bro. I couldn't care about them dudes, bro.
oh, I don't know. I'm
Who
just
do
asking.
you guys subscribe to out there, bro?
Leon Edwards is from my city, bro.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's gonna get worked. Sorry, bro.
He's gonna get. Yeah,
We'll see, bro.
he's fighting Kamaru again, isn't he?
Yeah,
Usman's gonna get rinsed, bro. Usman's gonna get.
This is the second time they're fighting, right?
Yeah, and Usman was lucky in the first fight, bro.
No, that's oof. That big ass head of Leon Edwards is gonna eat jabs all night.
Yeah. It's okay, bro.
The way that Gamebred pieced him up in the way that Gamebred pieced him up backstage, I don't know.
Facts.
What about Nate
okay.
Diaz? Nate Diaz fucking had his jaw in the first row.
Yeah.
Yep.
What? Didn't Nate Diaz get knocked out by Leon Edwards, bro?
No decision.
It was a decision.
Yeah, it was one of the most boring fights in the history of MMA.
Still lost.
He lost.
I mean, most of Nate Diaz's fights are boring. I don't understand.
He made him do the fish dance too, but that's we'll ignore that.
Judah dance.
I don't know why Nate Diaz gets so much like credibility. I mean, he's
not that great to me.
Boring. He's boring to me.
Real quick, I'm just gonna give you guys a Nate Diaz thing. It doesn't matter because if this fight happens with him and Khamzat, if they actually fight, we may see a murder. We may see a legit.
That's a mad fight.
You think Khamzat's
in MMA?
You think Khamzat's gonna kill him?
I don't. I think he's a good because he's Muslim. So like we're good. Like he's a good guy. Yeah. He's not gonna go out there and kill him. But like if he pisses him off, bro, you may see MMA's first death.
Yeah, it'd be a good fight. No, that's an excellent fight. The Khamzat and Nate Diaz.
I can't believe the commission's allowing it. Honestly, I'm not even joking. I'm being dead serious.
But it's money, bro. They're probably getting millions for shit like that. So.
Nate still sells. I guess still business of combat sports. Nate still sells.
Stockton, bro.
Still sells, man. This
dude's massive in Japan. Like, if you ever watch this fucking that fucker's massive, bro.
So one more thing, guys, before we go out and get off here. The Canelo Alvarez Triple G fight. Who you guys got?
Canelo.
Oh.
Potentially by stoppage.
Stoppage?
Potentially.
Late stoppage?
Potentially.
Yeah, I'm going the same. 10th Canelo, bro. 10.
Yeah.
So Danny, the Canelo Triple G 3 reminds me of Usman versus Masvidal 2. It's a fight that no one wanted.
Nice.
Like
Yeah.
no one
I
wanted
agree
to
with
see
that.
that.
Can't
Kind
do
of
that.
like Scambosis and Haney too. Nobody wants that either.
Yeah,
Nobody wants to see that either. Yep.
was
Nobody wants to
wrong.
see Devin Haney for 12 rounds, pitch a shutout, outboxing, and
Cambosis is gonna get destroyed, man. It's never.
it's just too. There's nobody who's paying for that fight. Who's gonna?
Well,
I
we
don't
was-
know.
Yeah, well,
Probably.
I was on a pay-per-view chat with people about Haney and Cambosis today, and they're saying that Cambosis wants £10 million for that fight, man.
Huh?
Wait, didn't they sign the deal? They signed the fight.
Yeah, they're supposed to fight in October.
yeah,
They're supposed to fight in
yeah.
October.
He said he wants extra clauses for that fight. Well, what?
Man.
That
First of
he's
all-
ducking then because he's gonna
First
get.
of all,
He don't even deserve £1 million for that.
that's
ring.
what I'm saying. First of all, you lost your belt. You have no belt, so you have no leverage.
No, but it's,
You have no
you have to
leverage.
understand.
You can't
You're
say
wrong,
anything anymore.
Danny. I have to cut you off. You're wrong. The reason being is because you don't know what was put in the contract for the first fight.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's
the
true.
only reason why they might have agreed on the figures if he wins or loses.
Yeah, they
And
probably
what
did.
they do is if you look at the fight contract, it's sometimes they enter it without prejudice, which means like in the event, like if one of them loses, the rematch clause has it where the percentage is going to be this no matter what.
Yeah.
Do you want to know my take on contracts? They should be banned.
Well, there's no business without contract, my friend.
Well,
You mean
listen,
contracts as far as
I got another way of working it out. Why not? Whoever's the governing body who owns the belts, they decide what the prize purse is.
No, but it's too many belts. That's
governing
the problem.
bodies, though, a lot of them are corrupt. If you really think about it, like
Yeah, but I'd rather have that than the
PBA
promoter.
with all these freaking baby belts. I can't
Listen,
stand.
the only solution is having one promoter. That's the only way of settling all this.
Not really.
that'll
But
never
that's
happen.
never going to
That'll
happen.
never
Yeah,
happen.
that's the only way because
That'll
the
never
promoter makes the fights. If they have control of every fighter,
So
then let the free market pay.
We were discussing this with Don King. Don King came onto a stream about 2 years ago. We were discussing this, but the thing with Don King, like everybody wants him back, but it's not going to happen. It's like we all want Don King back, but
We do.
it's just not. It's not going to happen.
do
Who's
we
all of
want
us?
Don King back?
I do.
Really?
Yeah.
I
Obviously.
mean,
This is interesting because I mean,
Speaking of racist, we were
I
talking
know
about
what-
racist promoters a while ago. So
Listen,
There's
I
a
don't want.
completely
Listen,
different-
let me finish, bro. Listen. I'm not from that era. Let me just talk normally and have a proper conversation about boxing. None of this rubbish. Eddie Hearn, Al Heyman, Bob Arum. Come on, man. You all know that I'm right. Don King was the original man who used to get the fights.
he
I mean,
ruined
he did
boxing.
make-
I mean, his cards
one
cards
thing-
were great, man.
That is one
deny
thing.
his
So
We did
what's
put on
the
great
issue?
cards.
His
So what's
his
the
cards
issue?
was crazy great.
We
Is
did put
any,
on great cards.
is any boxers dying on the streets from his times? Are they dying on the street? Oh, I'm poor, I'm dying. Come on, man. Come
Well,
on,
you did
bruh.
have Gerald McClellan versus Nigel Benn.
He did.
Yeah,
put,
well,
I mean,
but
Ali
McClellan,
Foreman, that fight would have never happened.
yeah,
So he did put
McClellan.
on.
McClellan was already got a brain scan, which was already iffy pre the
Before that,
Julian,
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So that's not Don King's fault.
right.
Can I make a suggestion? Since we're still talking fantasy, the only person that I have full confidence in fixing the sport of boxing, there's only one guy in the world that I would bet my life in the house.
Dana
You put-
White.
It's Dana White. That's it. You
Yeah,
put
I
Dana
agree.
I knew
White
you was
in
gonna say
boxing,
that. Dana White.
That's
It's
what I
over.
just said.
I don't want to agree with it.
You know what would
I don't
happen?
either, but I think he can do it.
Hear me out. This
Yeah.
is what would happen, and I've been saying this for freaking years. These Russian fighters from the Middle East, Russian area, they'll take over boxing, bro. These b-balls, these Shavkats,
I'm
these-
telling you.
these dudes would literally take over the sport.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Not
You
necessarily.
don't think so?
Molly
I
McCann.
get
They
it.
already
God.
are. Slowly but surely, you got Lomachenko, you got B-Ball, you got Beterbiev. I mean, they're already showing their dominance in the sport of boxing.
I wouldn't say
They're all from different
the
countries,
UK.
bro.
And UK is also taking over as well.
Yeah,
A lot of
but
great
we're not the best looking people in the world. But listen, don't just go. Don't look at me. We're not the best looking people in the world, but listen,
man.
don't just go on. You just see some big Russian head moving around. But I used to train with Joe Egan. Now that guy was Mike Tyson's main. He was Mike. Everybody knows me on the internet. He was Mike Tyson's main training partner for 14 years. You think that I'm gonna fucking back up from some Eastern European in a ring? I ain't backing up for nobody, bro.
Hey,
stop saying that all these Eastern Europeans are some sort of killers, because they're not.
I don't know, bro. Not Eastern European. I'm talking where not where Dagestan is, but like where Uzbekistan is.
I don't care where they're from.
That are lined up.
Listen, a punch in the head doesn't care where you're from on the planet, bro.
That's a fact.
Okay. You take your I see these guys boxing, and I just don't. These guys are a different breed, bro.
Yeah, there might be a different breed, but anybody can knock somebody's fucking mouthpiece out in a fight.
Yeah. Can I ask you a quick question? I always meant to ask an old head this, but I was a young kid. Joe Calzaghe, how good was he? Was he like the best of the best in his weight class?
Excellent question, and that is an excellent question. And what I think, he fought an old Bernard Hopkins. I'm a Bernard Hopkins big fan, more than Calzaghe. I met Bernard Hopkins. He
was old too, though.
He did, but he won all his belts after the Calzaghe fight. He fought a washed up Roy Jones, and he beat a Jeff Lacey, and Jeff Lacey was all hype. You want my view on Calzaghe?
Well, real quick, just you're going backwards. Go forward. I mean, go backwards. Don't go from latest to earliest. He fought Jeff Lacey. I watched that fight live when he was the biggest hype job in boxing.
Jeff Lacey was a complete hype job.
Yeah, but he was it. You could say whatever you want.
He was at the time. That's true. He was at the time. It was a good. My view on Calzaghe, unproved.
So, would you consider Joe Calzaghe to current day Tank Davis?
Oh, well above him. Come on, bro.
Hell no.
I'm just asking. Both guys that you just said unproven. When I think unproven champ, well, he's not really a champ, but the first name that comes to my mind is Tank Davis.
Yeah,
Tank Davis never fought anybody.
He's way better than Tank Davis, man.
You on drugs, bro. You on drugs.
I'm only going by. I'm going
on way.
Our buddy over here, Coach Rob. Coach Rob said Tank Davis is this world-class guy.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying, Adrian. I get what you're saying. Go ahead. I get what you're saying.
He's a WBA regular champ. Come on.
He's an email champ.
He has a baby belt, man.
He won his belt by email. He didn't really earn his belt.
Yeah, but nobody's looking for drama here. We're not hating on Tank Davis. But
I'm not. I just, yet again, the point I'm making is when you bring up unproven, I have to bring up his name because
listen, Tank fights Devin. Listen, Tank fights Devin and Ryan and all these guys. He's up there with the Calzaghes, bro. Listen. The only thing that is stopping these guys at the moment from being well above the Calzaghes, they've only got to sign 2 or 3 fight deals.
Yeah, I just think Calzaghe, like, people forget because like he was like a quiet, nice guy. He was the same age as these guys, and he beat them. So you can make any excuse you want.
He was younger,
but his time's gone.
He was younger than Bernard, and he was younger than Roy by a few years. But
he was He was 37, but Bernard Hopkins was 42 when he fought.
Yeah, he was like 42, and Roy was like 39.
39. I think Calzaghe was like 37 or something.
Yeah, but he beat him with skill, though. He didn't beat him with like power. He
you're not asking me what I think of the Hopkins Calzaghe fight. I thought Hopkins won that fight, bro.
Okay. All I'm saying is,
hey, look, and guess what?
Question, and I just countered. That's all I'm saying because I saw both fights.
He beat him with skill. I'm
like,
one of these guys, even though I'm from England, I'm a purist when it comes to boxing, and I have beaten him, bro.
And let me tell you
something.
Let me tell you this.
I'm actually Welsh. I'm actually Welsh, so there you go as well.
And let me tell you this: in those 2 fights, to piggyback on what you were saying, on those 2 fights that Calzaghe beat Hopkins and Roy Jones, he had to get up off the canvas.
Yeah, he got his ass whooped in that fight.
He had to get up off the canvas in both fights. So we're talking about
I'm looking at it from a standpoint of if Calzaghe fights Roy Jones in 96, 97.
Oh, it gets smoked.
Come on, man.
Yo, I get that, but like we can't go back and hit. The point I'm making is this. But if you score the fights if you score fights the way they are, just because you knock someone down doesn't mean you won the fight.
Listen,
Score fights round by round.
We're not saying that.
Any way you look at it, I've seen breakdowns of both fights.
Do you know
Antonio
Tarver,
if you're
bro?
fair, one second, if you judge boxing the way you're supposed to by the rules, he clearly won both fights. It wasn't like a split decision. You can say that, but this isn't just me saying it.
I wouldn't say clearly in the Hopkins fight.
Judging experts
clearly in the Jones fight. The Jones
1 second,
fight,
Danny, 1 second. This is not me saying it. This is people that judge boxing fights for like they have their channels are dedicated to it. You could watch
why did Calzaghe never fight Tarver or these guys?
Why did the sport of boxing is just that? No, none of these guys fight each other. I don't know.
Tarver would have killed Calzaghe.
I'll take your word for it. I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't around. I remember watching Tarver early on. You know what I mean? I remember watching.
How old are you?
35.
Well, I'm nearly 50 years old. So
yeah. So I'm 38.
Yeah.
And Antonio Tarver would have took Calzaghe.
Yeah, but they said I was on Boxing Scene, which was the only boxing website at the time when right before Jeff Lacey fought Calzaghe. Everyone said the exact opposite of what you said.
I was your age.
Calzaghe was going to get beat.
They said Lacey was going to smoke him.
Yeah, I knew better.
Real quick, 1 second. Let me make the point. They said Jeff Lacey, Americans are far superior athletes and boxers. Everyone said this. So I don't want to hear. Like I said, there's receipts from Boxing Scene. My username, my comments, everything is still there.
You're right.
Everyone said Jeff Lacey, just like you just said about
Hopkins. You're right.
And Roy Jones. If they fought in this year, he would have smoked them. Everyone said that about Jeff Lacey. Everyone did.
He battered Jeff Lacey.
Jeff Lacey is so one-dimensional, though.
No, but I don't care. But all I know is the only thing I have in front of me, facts-wise, everyone said the same shit about Jeff Lacey. He got completely outboxed and just schooled. That's number one. Number two, why would are you making it seem like Calzaghe was like the A side in the fights with Hopkins and Roy Jones? No. If Roy Jones and Hopkins beat him, the judges would have scored it fairly, which they did, and they would have given the fights to those guys. What I saw was this. 1 second, I'll let you respond, but just hear me out. Okay, what I saw was Calzaghe. Yes, he got knocked down, but yet again, a lot of guys. Marquez got knocked down 3 times, and he still fought to a draw with Pacquiao.
That's correct. That is correct.
So what I'm trying to say is this: you score the fights the way you're supposed to score fights. It's every round. It's a 10-must system. Round 1, round 2. When I watched both fights, all I saw was Calzaghe. He was adjusting. He got dropped, but then he just confused the fuck out of these guys.
He didn't confuse B-Hop.
He didn't do that with Bernard. He did it with Roy. He beat up Roy. He beat up Roy, yes. But the Hopkins fight, Hopkins didn't have an answer for him late in the fight.
He did. He nearly dropped him again in the 10th. So what you're saying?
Yeah, but you're talking about 2 rounds.
I don't know what you're saying.
2 rounds out of 10 rounds.
I gave Bernard Hopkins 6 rounds. I called it a draw, actually.
So then it's a draw then. Okay.
I had it 7-5 to Bernard.
Yeah, nobody's saying that because
so the reason why Roy Jones had issues was because of the reasons that I just mentioned a minute ago.
Reflexes,
which are the reasons why Eubank won't go far if he continues fighting this way. Everything is based off reflexes. There's no fundamentals.
Yeah,
you fight somebody that can time you. You fight somebody that has power. You fight somebody that has boxing IQ. They're going to beat you every time.
Yep.
So true.
So that's why Roy Jones lost.
Oh, welcome back, Coach. So, Coach Rob, the topic
I just got to brush my teeth. I got to get ready to go for training.
The only thing is, I know you just came back, and I have to head out because I want to really watch this Patty fight live.
Right.
But the point I was making was, I feel like the old boxing heads, bro, they got to put some respect on Calzaghe's name.
Oh yeah, Calzaghe.
Yeah, we don't hate him.
No, but he gets disrespected though. That's the point.
We're not hating on him, man.
He's undefeated, bro. You better put him in these all-time fucking combos.
So why would I hate on Calzaghe if I'm Welsh?
I don't know. I mean, listen, some of the, I don't want to get into like race, but people, self-hate is one of the biggest problems in society right now.
No, come on, bro.
You know?
This is a boxing conversation. This isn't fucking Dr. Phil, bro.
No, but you asked the question. You said, "Why would I hate a Welsh fighter?"
Fuck like Dr. Phil, bro. What the fuck, bro? What the
people?
this world
is run by hate.
Having a fucking Jack Daniels, bro. Get the fuck
People want to bring
bro.
up fucking Lennox Lewis like Lennox Lewis was this fucking the best heavyweight of all time, and I'm like, well, let's slow down a little bit. Like let's.
Yeah, but we're not saying that Lennox Lewis is the best of all time.
No, but he gets brought up in every time you watch any of these boxing commentary from like mainstream, everyone loves Lennox Lewis, but no one ever mentions Calzaghe or like Ricky Hatton or like
Ricky Hatton. Oh, come on, bro.
I'm just throwing it out there. Like they seem to have they have a narrative like it's like certain boxers they just like they're in awe like their career was amazing, and it's like, well, let's break down Mike Tyson's resume. You know what I mean? No one's
leave Tyson alone, bro.
So now leave him alone. No. I treat everyone the same. That's like, see what I'm saying, Danny? Like, this is what's wrong with the boxing purists. They're just corrupt as the sport itself.
What don't you like about Mike Tyson? What don't you like about it? What don't you like? He got beat by Holyfield.
I'm not. I have nothing. All I'm saying is, if you have Mike Tyson in any like all-time heavyweight rankings, you don't know what you're talking about.
So what's your top five? What's your top five?
Not Tyson. We went over this. Listen, I have to head out, but if you listen, we went over this. Danny and I broke it all down.
I've really enjoyed this conversation.
Yeah, but if you want the answer to that question, Danny, I think I explained it like fucking.
Yeah. Who's your greatest fighter of all time, bro? Your top two. Mine is Muhammad Ali. Number 2, I got George Foreman, bro. Come on.
George Foreman. Wow.
Everybody has the 1 and 2. Come on, man.
I did have George Foreman highly ranked. Remember, I think Danny and I were arguing.
Yeah.
Listen,
you said
my friend, listen to that podcast because I was giving Foreman a lot of praise.
Who's your 1 and 2, bro? Who's your
my 1 and 2? Oh man, this is tough. I mean, listen, you have to understand. I'm from Brooklyn, born and raised.
It's not that tough. It's not
for me. Yet again, listen. I didn't grow up in the best era like you guys did. My era of boxing's bullshit. So
no, you're fine.
We in the same era, man.
No, I know, but like I said, the thing is,
don't disrespect yourself. Don't disrespect yourself.
No, but the errors are the errors, though. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Who's your 1 and 2, bro?
My 1 and 2. Well, this is Danny. You go first,
bro. 1 and 2 fighters or just heavy
boxers? Muhammad Ali at 1. I'll go first. Muhammad Ali at 1. I got number 2, George Foreman. I got number 3. Let me have a good think about this. Number 3, I go Lennox Lewis. I got number 4.
Are these just heavyweights?
Just
heavyweight.
Just heavyweight.
Anyway, oh no, it's heavyweights.
And this is not the best. This is who you like the most. I know my answer.
No, this is definitely the best.
Who you think the best is?
Oh yeah,
that's easy. I could tell you.
Are we talking about just heavyweights?
Any weight class.
Just heavyweights.
Oh, just heavyweights?
Yeah, just heavyweight.
Easy. This is easy topic.
Oh yeah, it's pretty easy for me too.
Go on, bro.
Go ahead. I broke it down already, so I broke it down in Danny's video, but
right.
So I'm gonna go. Sorry, bro. Sorry.
So, of any era, any time frame, just heavyweight.
Any era, anything.
So, can anybody tell me right now of any era who would beat? You guys might. I don't know how you feel UK wise because he's one of your guys.
Don't
Rob,
say
where you going?
Who of any era who would beat
Where
Tyson?
you going, Rob?
So real quick, Danny.
Oh, come
1
on,
second.
We
bro.
talked about this, Rob. We talked about
We
this.
spoke about
it
this,
too,
Rob.
AJ.
Just so you know.
No,
Let me just make my point real fast. Let me be the first to respond.
He's only beat two Hall of. He's only beat
It doesn't
one
matter.
Hall of Fame.
Real
Come
quick,
on, bro.
my buddy from UK. Let me just do a quick response and then I'm done.
Yeah, go. I'm sorry, bro.
In Danny's podcast, I said if Tyson Fury beats Usyk, which I think he'll beat him anyway, but if let's say they were to fight and beat him, it is crystal clear. It's not even a debate for me. Tyson Fury, greatest heavyweight all time. No one will.
No,
you can't put anyone against him any era that beats him.
No.
That's my opinion.
But we're not going on here. We're not going on that. We're going on the quality of guys that they fought at that particular time.
Resume, longevity, all that.
We're not going on. We're not going on. We're going on. We're going on who they beat in their era, who was a pound for pound king. We're not going on if Tyson Fury is going to fight Muhammad Ali. It's like Tyson Fury probably win that. We're going on the era. But I tell you one thing, Muhammad Ali would fuck Tyson Fury up, bro.
I don't know. Oh,
I know.
I think it would be a tough fight because of the obvious thing, the size.
Well, what about Muhammad Ali with all the advantages of 2020?
You mean
Muhammad
Ali with all the advantages?
With the advantages of now, kill him, bro. Come on.
I don't know, because here's the thing I look at, right?
Muhammad Ali used to drink, used to do all these things, and like, come on, bro. He would destroy.
Heavyweights. Here we go. You got to put your Lennox Lewis's in there. Lennox has to be in there because he was undisputed. Mike, even got to put Mike in there a little bit. Sprinkle a little bit of Mike. Evander, you got to put Evander in there. Sprinkle a little bit of Evander in there. You got to put. I mean, shoot, even down to Riddick Bowe.
I'll put Riddick Bowe. I'll put Bowe in there. I think Bowe could beat anybody on his day.
Yeah. Larry, you even got to put a little Larry Holmes in there. He don't get all the respect he deserves. But
a bit of Ron Lyle.
Yeah, Ron Lyle. Yeah, that's a good one.
Ron Lyle was good.
Yeah.
Who else?
Ernie Shavers.
Maybe.
Ernie, yeah.
What about Ken Norton? Would you have Ken Norton in there?
No, I wouldn't because he got beat by people that we're talking about.
Real quick,
Ken Norton was good, but he lost the punches.
Listen to Danny's pot. We broke this down for like a half hour.
We did.
We both agreed on a lot of. We disagreed on a lot of things, but we both made sick points and agreed that, like, hey, you made a sick point. So,
but you can't disagree that Muhammad Ali's at number one. There's no way he's not a number one.
When you mentioned the greatest, isn't that his nickname?
He calls himself the greatest of all time. Yeah. The greatest of all time.
Yeah, and if you disrespect him, bro, he's gonna knock your face off, bro.
Muhammad Ali, great. he might.
No, not might. He would, bro.
Yeah, he might. He said he would.
It's not about might. It doesn't matter. You can come at him with anything. He's gonna do you, bro.
Ali was smart. He was smart.
I respect the old heads.
I loved him, bro.
I respect the old heads.
Yeah, you can't not respect him. I mean, you have to.
Do you know what? When we look back at the history of boxing, I think even people like Deontay Wilder, he's going to go down as a good fighter, you know.
Absolutely,
of course.
I have Wilder. Just so you guys know, I have Wilder. Real quick, let me just make a quick point, then I'm done. I have Wilder as the strongest puncher, pound for pound, in both boxing and MMA.
What a legend.
Yeah. I mean, what do you have? Like a 95% knockout ratio? Is it now?
Yeah.
Nobody else
pounds. He's fighting guys that are 270, 280, and sparking them with one punch.
I was laughing when he fought Tyson Fury and his missus was crying, you know, when he got knocked down. I watched that fight back today. I watched that fight back 4 hours ago and his missus was crying. And you know what? The first time in my life, I felt sorry for Wilder, bro. This guy is an absolute beast of a man.
He shouldn't have been a warrior.
absolutely disrespected and treated like shit. Like everybody on the internet, me and other people, we've been horrible about him. Horrible.
Not
But
me.
it wasn't necessary because you got to think about it,
was.
man. Like
It
he
wa- it
doesn't have
was.
any boxing ability at all.
And
But he started at 21 years old, and
Budweiser,
the only reason he did it was for his daughter because she had spinal bifida. I mean, you got
listen,
the whole story. Yeah,
He should have never been in the ring the second time with Fury.
That
Never.
that dude
Or-
Joshua.
or-
if
you're
he would have fought Wilder, that dude, Mr. fucking sorry for swearing, Mr. Puncher. Like, listen, if he would have fought Wilder back in the day, and they would have trained at the same time or started, not like Wilder working in Alabama doing like Budweiser deliveries.
you're talking about Jay Diaz.
Not JD, as Anthony Joshua. If Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder would have started their boxing career at the same time, there's not even a question who would have won that fight.
Well, see the thing is, and like you mentioned earlier about JD's,
sorry,
you're right on that because JD's didn't focus on the proper things with Deontay Wilder. All they focused on was power. Yep. And you can tell clearly. I mean, that's what he has, right? But think if now I was thinking about it like this, just like I was telling Danny this the other day. Think if Anthony Joshua goes to Sugar Hill. Think if Anthony Joshua goes to Sugar Hill, or if Deontay Wilder goes to Sugar Hill, or Emmanuel Stewart goes to Crunk Gym. Think if he goes there, what changes?
I don't think anything would change.
A lot changes.
Anthony Joshua was changing. Look at what he did with Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury was a counterpuncher, slick, whatever, moving underneath stuff. Now he's using his weight. Now he's coming forward. Now he's knocking guys out.
I think it's disgusting the way American society has treated Deontay Wilder in terms of a boxing superstar.
I agree.
I don't know what's going on in your stupid
country. Racism.
I agree.
It's because they're racist.
That's what they're racist, right? Yeah. We're racist against black people. That's
we hate black athletes so much.
No,
we underpay all our black athletes. Look, Brittany Griner, she's a black athlete.
We let him stay. She's stuck in Russia right now. We're not letting her out.
I don't understand.
She's not coming home.
I don't understand how you can take a specimen of a human being like Wilder. And his intelligence as well. It's not just all about muscles. He's a really nice guy. Why are you not investing in that guy?
Wilder should have never fought in heavyweight. If he stayed at cruiserweight, forget about it. He should have never went up to heavyweight, in my opinion.
He never started at cruiserweight. Wilder's never been a cruiserweight.
His weight has always been cruiserweight weight, though. He's always come in like 218.
He should have never fought against 200.
He's kind of like a Joe Louis. He's like a Joe Louis, so he's like a 210.
Well, that's his predecessor. That's why he calls himself the Bronze Bomber, because Joe Louis was the Brown Bomber.
But listen, I just think people need to leave him alone, and I think American society is treated him shit, bro.
Yeah, I don't doubt.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, I got to roll too, guys.
Well, guys, definitely. It's been a pleasure, man, doing this with you guys. Definitely want to do it again. Just a reminder, everybody on the chat, to like, share, subscribe. I appreciate you guys for being on this broadcast, man, today and doing this panel with me, man. So from your boy, Danny's Dimensions, Coach Rob, and our friend here from UK, we out of here. Peace.
Good night, guys.
Love,
good stuff,
we'll see
everybody.
y'all next time.
Good stuff. Good stuff.